Oh, okay, yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, we are live. It looks like.
Let's have a look.
Someone just said, "Time to join a live stream." Heck yeah, baby. I like how hardcore this person is. Okay, SpongeBob fan saying, "Hello, beautiful humans." I like your style. Let's see. Hello to Dominic. Gamer dude, hello. Ababoy, hi riders, how's your day been? So I literally spent my entire day watching Netflix.
Oh, okay. What have you been watching?
I've been watching this show recently called Voltron. It's like a new edition. I think it's something that's been around for a while, but they like rebooted it, and yeah, it's been my obsession. Okay. Think of like Avatar and Transformers combined. That's basically how to explain it.
Get in touch with your inner Bob.
Sure. Okay, that sounds
Oh, by the way,
interesting.
if anyone doesn't realize, we got Chester from C&B Extra on the chat.
Hello.
Yeah,
That's me.
and he is not the Flying Dutchman. He is Chester.
Oh, you know, I flip flop. Depends on how things are going. My voice usually just goes to that really weird gravelly thing if I'm like doing really bad during one of my streams. Just like, what is this?
You know, a lot of people have like told me that like they love your impression. Like they literally thought you took over the show, so that's great for me to hear. Anyway, we got some more people here. Let's see. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Meta Runner Mayhem. Hey Riders, that's a very interesting name. Hey, hi Raiders, how you doing? Doing good. Riding solo for life. Hello there. Dominic's asking, any news on Rehydrate patch? No, actually, I thought it would have come out this week. I guess not. Hopefully soon. Did you hear about that? That there's a new patch coming out?
I think you might have mentioned it, or maybe Sheriff mentioned it to me.
Sheriff
yeah,
definitely was talking lots about it.
Yeah, I haven't kept up to date, but yeah.
Yeah, there is a patch apparently, according to Steam DB anyway.
Is there still stuff to fix?
I mean, there's always stuff you can fix. Like there's still like some bugs here and there.
Okay.
Sound mixing is a little bit off for a lot of game. You know, just small touch-ups here and there. So,
yeah. I'm still just waiting. I'm waiting for the like a fog slider to let me push back the fog. Once they do that, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I would love something like that. That would be great. Like as soon as I
Or
saw
maybe an
like
FOV type thing.
as soon as I saw that like footage with the fog, I'm like, why is this a thing?
Yeah, when you look at the PS2 version, you see the fog all the way off in the distance.
So I don't know, things that would be great to have. I'm not really sure they would add stuff like that.
Yeah, not this late in the game.
Yeah. So you got Squirmy, SF64. Hi, I'm new. Well, welcome then, SF64. Toontown. I played a GBA version of this game. You ever played a GBA version of this game, or like any SpongeBob game?
I played a little bit of Battle for Bikini Bottom GBA, but I mostly played Nicktoons Attack of the Toybots. I played a heap of that and some Rugrats ones.
You know, I've been telling people that like one of the long-term goals of my channel is to basically cover every SpongeBob game that exists. But when I said that, I forgot about the fact that not only is there every SpongeBob game, but there's also a GBA version of every SpongeBob game, and a DS version of every SpongeBob game, and a PC version. And
it just grows. It just grows.
You know, back then when they made like 10 different versions of the same game.
You could also probably have a look. Like there's the PSP version of Truth or Square.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I heard that one is like really similar to the console version. Hopefully that one won't take that long. But
I was really impressed by it. Like, it's a 3D platformer on the PSP. It was pretty cool.
I mean, it's heavy iron. I mean, I know that Trooper Square is kind of like a mixed title, but still very solid, especially when you look at it in comparison to all other SpongeBob games. So that's just my take on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you compare it to Atlantis SquarePantis or anything like that. It's like, oh, actually, this is good. This is okay. This is better than I thought.
I definitely want to try the DS version of Atlantis SquarePantis one day. I've actually heard really good things about it from multiple people. For some reason, that version gets brought up a lot.
Okay.
It's like, you know how like the Wii version is like the Wii version, and
yeah.
well, apparently the DS version is like a platformer.
Oh.
And actually,
like a 2D platformer?
No, like a 3D platformer. I mean, not 3D in like this scale, but like a DS 3D platformer, what you would expect for like a DS 3D platformer.
I was always really impressed. I really liked with Atlantis SquarePantis the top-down puzzle bits. I liked those.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't mind a game kind of focused around that. I also have you played Underpants Slam at all?
No, but it's another one to add to the list. Okay, is that for the DS also, or was that like was that the Xbox Arcade one?
Yeah, that was Xbox Arcade. That was.
I don't know how I'm gonna get my hands on that.
Well, no, because Heavy Iron brought it back. They republished it. That was like not Heavy Iron. THQ Nordic. That was like the first thing they did was they brought it back to the arcade. I just don't know which arcade it's on. I remember that was like the first bit of news after they announced. It popped up and we were like, oh, okay, so this is the first thing they've done.
Interesting.
I think I made a video.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that now. I remember when I first got onto like the SpongeBob game scene, as you might call it, and you were one of like the more prominent people I was watching, just to stay up to date on everything that was going on. And I remember seeing that. I was like, oh, I guess this is a big deal. Me like not really. Yeah. Me like not really digesting the fact that like it was the first like bit of like SpongeBob video game news since Hero Pants.
Yeah, since we all stopped caring.
Well, it's like I didn't even realize that there was like a legit community behind these games until like I started YouTube.
No, I didn't. I had no idea until I watched like Fred's videos. I had no idea people even like remembered those games. So I was just like, oh yeah, they're just these games I played when I was a kid. Kind of was 50-50 if they ever really even existed, because I didn't own any of them anymore except for like one copy of one on like the back corner of a DVD pile type of thing. I was like, I was very surprised when Fred was talking about it. I was like, oh yeah, firstly these games existed and people still think they're good. Like there are no other games in my childhood or anything that I would even consider remotely being halfway decent now.
Exactly. Fred was another one of the people that I watched a lot of when I first started making YouTube videos too, because like I think I started off like doing mostly Sonic stuff, and then I started doing SpongeBob stuff because I guess I was just feeling weirdly nostalgic about VFBB, and then I was searching stuff up and I saw your videos, I saw Fred's videos, and I was like, huh, this actually is something that you could talk about on YouTube and like get subscribers for. So I was like, okay, let's try it out, So, and then of course, rest is history.
Until we, I suppose until we hear a little bit more or anything else gets announced, it's kind of, I suppose it's kind of gone now. Like I can't imagine someone else, because like I created this channel, like C&B Extra, for the kind of the purpose of talking about SpongeBob. I can't imagine anyone else starting that now and doing that, because like the Balcony Bottom rehydrated hype train died.
Yeah.
And like I maybe I don't know, until we get something new, I just doubt there won't be anything, because it was such a community effort and it was such a community win type of thing to get it. but there isn't really like everyone's a bit divided on what they want to see next. Some people want to see the movie game. Some people want Creature from the Krusty Krab. I want something new, and it's that type of thing. No, the community's a bit more divided than they were of just like we want this one game. This is what we want, type of thing.
It's funny because
yeah,
that was like something that. Okay, I tried using a sine wave guitar just now, and instead I was too close to the door, so now I'm going back to the previous area. It's anyway, yeah, because BFBB was like something that everyone could get behind. On top of like the just natural popularity of the game, you know, it was just that's the closest I feel like we were gonna get in terms of like an actual SpongeBob remake, which it actually happened, so it's really cool. But
well, I guess yeah, because in reality, it was one of the only ones that would actually make sense because it was its own standalone title in a lot of ways, and it wasn't tied to a movie, it wasn't tied to a special or anything like that. So it's one of the only ones that can really stand on its own that is also decent.
Yeah.
So
it's like it's really weird how I don't think I realized just like how many SpongeBob games are based off of like a TV special. You know?
Yeah.
Like there's even one based off the big one, isn't there?
Yeah, like a DS one or something.
Yeah, I was like literally on every a game for every special. That was the world we lived in back then. I mean, I guess they were the good old days.
I suppose. Maybe.
Maybe the good old days. I am kind of.
Let's just have a look. So we had so there was Creature from the Krusty Krab, which I suppose was kind of inspired by the whole Dream episode, but it didn't have a special. Lights Camera Pants. I don't remember if there was a Lights Camera Pants episode.
Nah, there was not. That was a.
There wasn't? Okay.
No, that was a cool title though.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, really good party.
Lights Camera Pants. Cool. Definitely. Did you ever play SpongeBob Moves In? The
what is that?
iPad game?
That's an iPad.
It's where Bikini Bottom gets destroyed in like a, I don't know, some accident or something, and then you have to rebuild it or something.
Oh no, this doesn't sound familiar to me at all. I feel like I probably might have just seen the cover somewhere. Yeah. But this doesn't sound familiar.
Maybe
to me
doesn't. Maybe. Or it's like it's the first time SpongeBob moves in, and he's like Krabby Patties are the
Krabby Caddies.
Krabby Caddies are the finance to it all. I don't know. I played it for like an hour, and I was like, okay, this is just a gotcha game.
Ah, I gotcha.
But
yeah, there's like, cause like, yeah, I don't think like, I've been making that statement forever now that I want to like review every single SpongeBob game, but it's only now that I've started like thinking intensely about, oh, do you know how many actual SpongeBob games there are?
Yeah, there's so many.
But I think it'd be really fun, you know, because I feel like channels like yours and mine that like talk about these games are like not that plentiful. So
no, and also just like you can always bring something new to it, and it's also the nice thing of there's a lot of content to be made. There's a lot of games. You're not going to run out too quick.
Exactly. You know.
But yeah.
So like I'm definitely am looking forward to making more SpongeBob-ish content, but not so much about like what's coming next, but like more about like what came in the past, you know? Because I think that's interesting too, you know? Because I think I was mostly focused on what was next, kind of thing, which is a cool thing, you know, nothing wrong with that. But I'm really interested in like diving into the history and talking about a bunch of stuff that like no one would think to talk about otherwise. Yeah,
and I mean, there's always going to be some people who want you to talk about, you know, SpongeBob versus the Big One or Draw to Life SpongeBob type of thing. So.
Yeah, you'd be surprised at how many people ask me about Draw to Life.
Really? I've never had anyone.
Yeah, no, I get comments about that like maybe like a couple of times a month, which is more than I would expect.
I usually get like Yellow Avenger.
Oh, that's another one I get too. I actually did play that one, and like, I didn't even like it as a kid.
Now I owned it and I just got so bored of it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing.
I just remember as a kid playing it, thinking like, wow, this is kind of ugly. And like it was already a bad start, and then I just played it, and I was just bored of it, honestly. But I will revisit it one day. It's one of the games I actually did play as a kid, so.
Yeah, I think I still have like my copy around somewhere. But also, what'd you think of the new movie?
We don't. I don't use the new movie personally. As soon as like Snoop Dogg walked into the movie, I was done.
Yeah. That's where my brother gave up as well.
It's just like, it was just not. Like, it literally felt like, I think they took the first movie and just added celebrities into it. Like, that's all they did.
Yeah, I think because I have a few major problems. I didn't realize I had so many major problems with it till I was talking to a few friends about it, and I started off being like positive, and then slowly kind of evolved into, and they ruined like the timeline of the series by showing the paddy wagon, even though that the first movie is technically the end of the show. They show the paddy wagon then, meaning this movie is now the actual set after that one, ruining the timeline of the show. But yeah, I went into that a little bit, but I thought, because as I think we've talked in the past, I'm not a big fan at all of the most recent seasons.
Yeah.
I don't like the comedy of the recent seasons, but I was actually ignoring the whole, you know, Snoop Dogg and Keanu Reeves and all the celebrity stuff, and the fact it takes forever to get going. I really enjoyed just like the moment-to-moment bits of comedy. Like, I preferred it to the second movie. I preferred
really
like
now?
jokes, like the stuff. Yeah, like the even the whole dream stuff was awful and really badly paced. Like it has terrible 3-act structure. Like it's really bad 3-act structure where like a whole segment is technically useless. But it's like the jokes I found were really funny. It was just the stuff like with Camp Coral that ruined it for me.
Interesting.
And that type of stuff. But
because like I found the second movie to be really funny. I think that's its biggest strength, personally. Like I think the storyline wasn't
the second one bad, but yeah.
But like no, I genuinely found like the jokes on the second movie like really funny. Like I find it funnier than the first one. Personally.
What?
Yeah. I think the first one, I like the story, the characterization of the first one a lot better. You know, you actually feel like SpongeBob and Patrick are going through some shit. You know? And like you actually feel like there's good genuine character growth in the first movie. That's why I think it'll probably remain like my favorite of the SpongeBob movies. But no, I gotta give it to the second one. It's really funny.
Okay. I think maybe my biggest problem with this new one was the fact of how much just like SpongeBob and Patrick were arguing through it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it didn't feel right how much they were arguing.
I was gonna say, you know how like as soon as like they start like starting the journey and such, SpongeBob all of a sudden like starts insulting Patrick like crazy.
Yeah.
Like calling him like dumb and such. It's like not even modern SpongeBob would do that.
No. It felt really weird. And Patrick also fighting back at it. It was like Patrick has a weird sense of knowing he's being insulted, which he like rarely does in the show. Like he does a bit, but like, yeah.
Dominic is like, why would they make a Camp Coral TV series? Oh, I think we all know the answer to that. But honestly, though, like I can't think of like one like show where you DH your characters that I actually liked. Like, do you have any shows like that you liked?
I have one where they, overage them, which was All Grown Up. Like, I really liked All Grown Up.
I like that one too.
There was, this is going to sound weird, but there was like a Looney Tunes one where they made them into like toddlers.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it was like a Rugrats clone type of thing. I thought that was pretty funny. Like it wasn't as good as Looney Tunes, but like it was fun. But yeah, no, I can't think of anything where it's a prequel where it's better.
I wouldn't say necessarily better per se, just like decent, you know.
Oh, decent. Okay.
Okay, we're going to win this challenge.
I've been watching the stream. I never was ready.
Riding and saying I'm raging. I'm not raging. Not yet, anyway. This is the toughest one, so it makes sense for me to struggle a little bit. I think it's also the fact that that I like to tout myself as a great multitasker, but I'm really not.
Oh yeah, no, it's really hard. Like doing the stream stuff where I'm doing these 3D platformers and like keeping up with chat, talking, like being funny.
Yeah.
And then also
I'm
playing
not.
the game and just like.
I've given up on being funny. So it's. I've given up on that during a live stream. Like even in videos, I've given up on that. But it's like, yeah, it's like I don't know how like Twitch streamers and such do it. Like Shift, like how does he like speedrun games and like manage a chat at the same time? It doesn't make sense to me. And that goes for
like
like
how people can stream for like hours straight.
Yeah.
I think 3 hours is my absolute max. 1 hour is where I feel like comfortable and it's just like, okay, that was a really good thing. I kept the energy up the whole time, kept the jokes going. Like 3 hours is pushing it because I was playing through this Harry Potter game and I just got stuck. And so I just decided, I was like, I will die before I stop streaming this bit without beating it. And like I had like a bunch of people just like cheering me on the whole time, and it was just absolute torture. But I did it. It took me 3 hours, but I did it.
Oh gosh. Okay, I take a break and look at the chat for a little bit. Oh, Fred is in the house. Hey, Fred. Oh, you know, what does it look like? How it's going? How do you think it's going?
Is he? I can't.
Yeah, Fred is right there. Look at the chat.
Oh, there he is. Oh, okay. Go back.
What does it look like? How do you think it looks like? Let's see. SF64 is very positive. I'm ready. I need to adopt that attitude. Let's see.
I feel like that's a reference to something.
SpongeBob fan says, "Hey Riders, please tell the viewers if this video reaches 20,000 likes, you will contact Purple Lamp to remake this game." I'm pretty sure I've done that with like 0 likes. If you count like me talking about in videos as contacting them, which I kind of do because they watch everything. So. Toontown guy says, "Reviews SpongeBob Surf and Skate Road Trip." Waiting. Once I get like a Connect, maybe.
We were talking about that for a while.
Yeah. Weren't you going to review it actually?
Yeah. Then I just got super busy, but I'm still going to. I think we're going to have you on as like a skater boy or something like that.
Oh, dude, that sounds great. Fred's like, "Lo, in this challenge, you gotta wait before you go past the steam at that one part." Hey, Fred, if you're free, feel free to join on in Discord if you like. But in the meantime, I will not give up. We do have 2 hours, and this is the second to last level, so I feel like it would be pretty lame if I just quit. So I have like 5 more tries in me, I think.
It's just so nice to like see a 3D platformer where it doesn't have a live system where if you run out, it resets your entire game. It's really nice. I really appreciate that in a video game.
Yeah, because I was playing like Super Mario Sunshine for a while, and like there's challenges, there's like levels in that game that I consider to be like, they remind me a lot of like Patrick's like floating block challenges here, and like I'm terrible at those, and so I die a lot, and whenever I have game over, you get restarted all the way back to the hub world, and it's just like, what's the point?
Yeah,
honestly,
it's so annoying. I've been playing through the Jimmy Neutron movie game, which is made by Big Sky Interactive, and I remember I was doing my first stream, and everyone was like, "Oh, Chester, do you hear how hard this game is? It's really difficult." And I'm like, "This game's easy. I'm just smashing through it. Like, yeah, it takes a little while to find my way through things, but it's so easy. I'm really enjoying this." And then by like the 4th stream, I hated everything. I believe I rage quit at the end just because I couldn't be bothered replaying it anymore. But it was that whole thing. It's like, why would you put a live system in your 3D platformer?
Oh yeah.
For kids.
And so like I was playing that game too.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. Oh, Fred wants to join on. Let me add him into our call. I'm just gonna add you into the call, Fred, and then you could just join on whenever. Actually,
Trainer Silver says you should definitely talk about Plant Sheen. It's the greatest thing to ever exist.
I
still
think
haven't watched it.
I'll probably make a video on like broccoli before I make a video on Plant Sheen, being completely honest. Alright, Fred, feel free to join on whenever. Hey Riders, what do you think about Jimmy Neutron?
The Jimmy Neutron reboot in 2021?
Is that actually happening?
Nah, it's not happening, mate. I'm so excited because I did this massive video that I put months of work into talking about the Jimmy Neutron revival. And I was like, okay, it'll probably, most likely, very beginning of the year. I was like, there's a very high chance the amount of like evidence I now find it'll happen by the end of the year. Then the coronavirus happened and everything like just got chucked out the window. I'm just so excited for so many comments of people saying, oh, this didn't age well on that video as soon as we get into January. So I'm really excited for that.
Sometimes things just get delayed for like many reasons, not just the virus too.
Yeah, I mean, I think at a point with this type of stuff, it's so hit or miss.
Yeah.
And we don't really know till it's actually happened.
Exactly.
If it's gonna happen.
Well, you know, sometimes there's like, you know, creative differences that happen too. Like, I was actually really excited about the Lizzie McGuire reboot, and now it just doesn't seem like it's gonna happen because Disney sucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that. Isn't there an iCarly reboot happening too?
That was announced like really recently. It's very interesting because like you got Carly, you got Freddie, you got what's the brother's name? Spencer. Spencer, you got Spencer. Okay, I'm done. I can't. I can't. Sorry guys, I can't do this anymore. Oh, there's no.
Says, oh boy, if a JN reboot ever happens, I'll probably explode. Yeah, probably same.
This is not happening tonight. Sorry. There's a whole bunch of other tokens I can go for. It's fine. It's fine. Let's see. My life as a teenage robot deserves to be revived for a 4th and 5th season. That show should have done so much better. I think the issue was I think there was just a lot of shows similar to that going on at the same time. Let's see. Wow, SF64 is really, really positive tonight. I need that energy, man. So how's everyone's Christmas been so far?
Drake and Josh. Drake?
Drake and Josh is the classic. Iconic.
I'll work out. Maybe I am really a fake fan. I don't know any of this stuff. I never watched any of the live action stuff. I only watched the cartoons.
Well, I watched the live action stuff almost as much as the cartoons, actually. I was a really big Disney addict, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. But nowadays I find myself watching more cartoons actually than I did when I was younger. It's really weird.
I suppose I was just gonna say actually no, that will just annoy people. Anyway, moving on.
Okay. Oh.
I was just gonna call I was like, oh, if you count anime as cartoons, I suppose I watch just as much cartoons as I did, but I know that triggers people to call anime cartoons. So
But
I'll just
The little definition of cartoons is animated animation.
Yeah, but just the anime fans don't like they feel like it's like devaluing the art form by calling it a cartoon, when in reality, like, being a cartoon isn't a negative thing. But
yeah, that's problematic in itself. Thinking cartoons or devaluating in any way. But yeah, we won't talk about that.
Also, I was just wondering, because I never talked about, but I think nearly every stream I've done, people have wanted me to talk about. What do you think of Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2?
I liked it, but I got bored of it really quickly.
Was there voice acting?
There's no voice acting.
Ah!
Why would you think there's voice acting?
Why would I ever think there'd be voice acting? Oh.
No, I'm just saying, like, okay, I'll be honest, like, I totally did not think they were gonna add it in, because I think it's I think it's a Nickelodeon thing. I legit think it is, because
yeah,
you know, Clancy Brown not coming back for Rehydrated, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 1 not having voice acting. I think Nickelodeon is literally too cheap to invest in voice acting.
Yeah, it would be,
which is so frustrating.
Just a thing of like,
it's so
it would be, yeah. It's so weird. Like, these characters, like, half of what they are is the visual design and their voice.
Yeah.
So it's like you have half of a character.
Mm-hmm. It's really, really silly. But I mean, like, I was not surprised at all when I saw that there was no voice acting.
Yeah. I suppose it would be hard with something like Kart Racers, just because you have those legacy characters for shows that no longer exist, with voice actors who aren't currently working there, maybe.
Yeah.
Or quite possibly, for like even the older shows, might not even have the best relationship with Nickelodeon anymore. Because you see that a little bit, like with the like, I watched a podcast with the voice actors of Jimmy Neutron, and you can tell a few of them are quite bitter towards Nickelodeon. As yeah.
Not surprising. Nickelodeon. You can tell Nickelodeon are actually assholes.
But it's the thing you start to do with Nintendo as well.
I don't
we don't need to get
understand.
into that.
Yeah, that's a whole big discussion. I'm just glad I'm not like a diehard Nintendo fan. I mean, I totally could be, to be honest. They totally make my kind of games. But I don't know. For some reason, I've always gravitated towards things like SpongeBob Island SquarePantis instead of Mario Party. So that's just how it's always been in my life.
A man of culture.
Yeah. But no, that's gonna bite them in the butt eventually, because there's no way piracy and things like that are ever gonna go away.
Oh, this is for the
Or emulation. I shouldn't say piracy. I should say emulation.
I think it depends the way people do it, whether it's piracy or not.
Yeah, but like
I do emulation stuff for videos just because I don't want my reviews to be all blurry. But it's with games I own. So for my reasoning for it is, like, I own the game. I feel like I have the ownership over the game to, you know,
exactly
to play it where I want.
Oh no, like,
the money's not getting back to Nickelodeon for these ancient games. Like, it's going to someone on eBay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like,
they're
I
not
feel okay with that.
They're not manufacturing it, so they're definitely not getting the value, like the profits they would be getting from it. So I don't know. It's just like, if like gaming companies actually like embrace like emulation and try to use it to their advantage, like, we would have like the greatest like gaming library ever. You know, you have access to like all the games you could think of, you know. But instead they've actively fought against it, and like, we can't even, I mean, I just think that like game preservation is such an important thing. You know, it's important for us to be able to, you know, play the games of both now and in the past. And if you're constantly fighting against that, then like, there's a possibility that games would either get lost or are just really difficult to find, which is the case for a lot of Nickelodeon games actually. So I'm
Yeah,
just like,
I mean, I've paid upwards of like $30-$40 to get some Nickelodeon games just because it's hard to get some of them.
yeah, you know,
at this
so it's
stage. Yeah.
if they just embraced it, you know, and tried to make some money off of it, then like everyone would be happy. Like, look at how what music has become, for instance, or like streaming it with like Netflix and such. You know, it's like companies are making tons off of like these TV shows that like ended like decades ago.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it can totally be the same way with video games. If you
But
just
it's also the thing, like, yeah, definitely. But it's also the thing is of that type of stuff. Like, if you even taking recent SpongeBob stuff, I will say in 5 years to 10 years, hero pants will be incredibly valuable. Like going onto eBay now.
I don't care what anyone says.
I'm not, hero pants is $60 on eBay, $70 on eBay, $99 on eBay, $62 on eBay. And it's just like, and even more expensive for the Vita version. Like, no one bought that game, but it is going to be so expensive if people want to like ever make fun of it in the future. It's going to be so expensive to do that.
Well, hopefully people realize that it's not worth it. Although, it was fun to revisit it actually with that video I had you be a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, I hated it just about as much as I did the first time, but it was interesting to go back and talk about it at least.
Yeah, I think it's interesting with it because like I think Lamhoot's video on that is like sublime. Just like I feel like I feel like the best reviews are reviews where you just learn so much. I feel like I learned so much about like game design and how they've done it really badly, but I was just actually learning game design stuff from videos like that, of going into like this. So this is how they should be making these platforms. Here's how they've actually made the platforms, just by sticking them together rather than just stretching out one. They've just stuck a bunch of small ones together, and it's like you feel like you actually learn something about how bad this stuff is.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched that video, but I remember really liking it too, and actually being kind of surprised at how detailed he was with some of the flaws. So definitely. I still can't believe Fairly Odd Parents lasted 10 seasons.
It did?
Yeah, that's what Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon Fanboy says.
SpongeBob, you're almost there, but you'll need the paddy wagon to make it through to the Krusty Krab.
Oh, I need more Goofy Goober tokens. Alright, let's see what we got here. Well, we're not doing the SpongeBob challenge, so...
No.
Let's see. I'm 22, almost 23. Well, happy almost birthday, Daniel. In Cartoon Network. Happy early 18th birthday. Ah, 18th. Such an awkward age.
18 is? Well, I would think 19 is the awkward age.
They're all awkward.
It's like the very end of your teen years. Before you're like a proper adult or whatever it is. Is it 21 where people in America? Is it 21 where you can like...
That's when you can like go
drink?
to drink. Yeah, that's when you're legally able to drink.
That's weird, man.
Yeah, because it's so much younger and like everywhere else, right?
Yeah, 18, yeah.
Well, it's like I know
Ooh,
a lot of like European countries, like teenagers drink. Like legally drink. Like teenagers drink in America too, but like it's legal in other places.
I was wondering where you're gonna go next. I was like, I feel like wherever you go, teenagers will be drinking.
Yeah, but like they legally drink almost everywhere else. So Art Style asked for the original BFPB for the GameCube this Christmas. Well, you better hug your parents because that's probably gonna be like $100.
Yeah, let me have a look on eBay for the original.
Actually, you probably could find it pretty cheap depending on the seller.
I reckon $30. Battle
Yeah.
for Bikini Bottom PS2. $50.
Okay, yeah, that's about what I was expecting.
$50. Okay, so $50, $15. But I bet that's pretty low quality. $40. That's all just the remake. Okay, so you're looking at like $40-50, and that's Australian. So
Okay. Also, that definitely
be
be more
cheaper.
expensive. Yeah, that'd be more pricey in America. But yeah, that's about what I was expecting. Okay. I will never drink in my life. It's not good. Good for you. This stream is cooler than double overtime of the Krusty Krab. Oh, definitely. I would imagine so. Okay. How many do I need? 50, isn't it? I have 46 currently. Ugh. What do you think? Should I try a Sonic Wave Guitar Challenge? I hate those so much.
anything's better than the ring challenges.
Yeah. Well, the Sonic Wave Guitar challenges
one, did you
are
do-
ring challenges, in a sense.
Oh yeah.
But the first
Have you
one
done
is
like
not
the
too bad.
very early one?
No, I haven't done the
Yeah, I was
first
thinking,
one.
yeah, the first few.
Let's do the first one. Do you think Loud House should get a video game? Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I don't have any ideas currently, but I would definitely try it out.
Loud House.
You ever seen the Loud House?
No.
It's actually a really good show. I watched a few episodes of it. I feel like I kind of wish I got to see it when I was younger because I would have been so much more into it. But like I could tell it would have been a show I really liked.
Yeah, that's always that type of thing. Like when I didn't like the later seasons, but like the first 2 seasons of Steven Universe, I was like, if this came out when I was 10, this would have been my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
But
I watched like
didn't.
one episode of Steven's Universe. I'm like, oh man, I would have loved this as a kid.
yeah, it's
sad. It's kind of sad if you think about it. Isn't that sad? It's like, I knew I would like this, but I'm too old to like it now. Well, okay, no. The better way to
It's been like
phrase
the-
it is like, other TV shows have gotten to me before this one did. We'll just say that.
yeah. But there's also when you're older, you kind of look at things a bit differently. But yeah, it's like that's been the thing we've been trying to do with the audio drama. We've been doing over on Spotify and all that type of stuff. Is like, let's create something that's a little bit like, it gets a bit violent, a bit gory type of thing. But if we were like 13, 14, this would have been the absolute coolest thing we would have ever wanted to watch. And like me and my brother were talking about, it's like, this is everything we ever would have wanted to listen to and or watch when we were like teenagers. That's what we're going to create. And so it's this super intense, dark type of thing.
I remember like writing fan fiction about Sonic the Hedgehog that I tried to make really dark and edgy too. So
yeah.
I totally get where you're coming from in terms of that. Except I was a kid, so like my dark and edgy stuff was really like, are you serious kind of stuff? So
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember I read, the only ever fan fiction I've ever read was this one Rugrats All Grown Up one that I read, and I actually really liked it. I've gone back to it now. Like, this is actually still really quite good because it's set a while after the series, and it's not super over the top. It's not like dumb, but it's like it's so long. It's 60 chapters or something like that. It's like hundreds of thousands of words, and you can tell it's been written by like an actual adult type of thing. It's like, this is actually quite well paced.
interesting.
A little dumb, as all fan fiction is, because like you put this much effort into it. Why didn't you just write your own thing with your own characters?
Yeah.
If you're gonna put this much effort and make it this good, you should have just done your own thing. But it's just like, this is actually surprisingly good because you can hear so many like horror stories of fan fiction.
Hey, Fred, are you there?
What's
Hey, Fred.
What's up?
How's it going?
Shit. Oh yeah, I asked you that. What's up? I'm going all right.
Sorry, like when I stream, like my mind is like not really 100% there.
Yeah.
You'll have to find
Yeah,
out.
that's how it's supposed to be. Yep.
Have you two met, Chester?
I think it was.
Probably.
I think we talked for a little bit, like 3 or 4 years ago, but no more than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was probably when like I created my server or something.
Yeah. Probably yeah.
And so, how goes it in the world of Fred? If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's going good, bro.
I just like
It's always something.
the way that my life is going right now. Like, I literally remembered an hour ago that this stream was supposed to happen. So that's how things are going for me.
Yeah, you've been busy, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. I work in a hospital currently, and things are changing left and right currently. So it's been great.
Oh yeah, I basically do too. Yeah.
Let's see.
What you do at the hospital?
Oh, I'm a pharmacist, so I get to handle all the drugs basically.
Oh, nice. Drug man, that's what's up.
Let's see. Oh, and I just forgot, like, so I'm playing this on the classic controller, and I always forget like what the controls are. So every now and then, like, you'll see me do something stupid, like cartwheel into a bottomless pit.
Oh, you playing it on the Wii?
Yeah, I do own the game though, so it's well, I'm playing the
Yeah,
Wii U.
it works.
Wait, on the Wii?
Are you grinding for tokens?
Yes, I am grinding for tokens.
Wait, you're playing
Was it
on
like
the Wii?
the Wii U, right?
Yeah. So yeah, the Wii U is slightly modified to let myself do this, but I do own.
Oh, okay.
I do own everything that I'm playing. So actually, I own like 3
No, that's
copies
all
of this
very
game.
popular.
I own like the Xbox version. I own like the GameCube version. I even own the PC version.
Oh yeah, I got all of them except for like PC. Yeah.
The PC version is
I started.
kind of weird. Have either Chester, you ever played it?
Oh, I played. I think I played the first hour or 2 of it, and then it broke because new PC and all that type of stuff. The way it works, it doesn't work very good anymore. But it was super. It was like it's the point and click adventure thing. But I just had no idea what I was supposed to click on, because you can usually with point and click adventure games, the stuff you can click on looks slightly different. Like it looks like an asset. It doesn't look like the drawn background, but like everything looked the same. So I remember, I think I did a video on it, playing that first hour or something, and I was just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm clicking every single thing and nothing's working.
I remember like I watched a video on like Battle for Bikini Bottom on PC, and I was just confused of what the fuck I was watching.
Yeah.
Well, I felt
Those cutscenes are so ass.
I felt oddly nostalgic about it when I first saw footage of that game, because I'm like, oh, this is the same exact like assets as like Employee of the Month, which was actually one of my childhood favorites. So that was really
Best
interesting.
SpongeBob game ever.
I hear a lot of good things about that game.
Well, it's really just like an interactive episode. That's basically what it is. But like, I thought the writing was really funny when I was a kid. When I played it recently, it still had that same charm, but I don't know if that's just because of nostalgia. So I played that game a lot when I was a kid, but I never played the movie game for the PC when I was a kid. I played it more so recently, and it's like a very similar kind of game, point and click adventure as well. And I found a lot of the writing in the movie game really odd, like just kind of out of character.
It was Employee of the Month. It was really weird.
Yeah, like Spongebob is kind of like an asshole in that game. Like he just regularly like shades like everyone that he talks to. Like I think
I might have to try that, dude.
Like I think there's one time he's like, what kind of name is that? He made some kind of comment about one of the people's names or whatever.
Yeah, sounds out of character, but sounds golden.
Yeah, it's really out of character sometimes. It was kind of meta. Like it almost felt like fan fiction.
Yeah. We were talking about something similar a bit earlier. I'm not sure if you were listening, Fred, about I'm not sure what your opinion on is with the new movie or if you've seen it yet. But something I thought was really weird is just like how much SpongeBob and Patrick just argue in the movie. Just like actual arguments between them. It's like, this doesn't feel right. This isn't the way they're supposed to be.
Get to the bottom.
Yeah, I remember I saw like the trailer for that movie, and like from the get-go, I was not really interested in it. I mean, I did like Sponge Out of Water and the first one, obviously, but like when I saw the trailer for that new one, I like how they tried something different with the animation, but like the writing, from what I seen from the trailer, there was nothing interesting about it. And now I'm hearing that everybody else doesn't like it, but I don't really know for sure if I'm like it or not. I never watched it, but I'm probably not going to like it. Like, just off of the Camp Coral thing, I don't think I'm gonna like it, like, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, like a third of the movie was literally promoting the Camp Coral thing, so that was one of the like biggest like turnoffs for me personally, because they just felt so oddly placed in the movie. Especially
yeah, that was Nickelodeon's intention. Yeah, just use the big budget film to promote your shitty spinoff.
Yeah, because it's like it really felt really shoehorned in. Like there's this one part in the movie where like all SpongeBob's friends like talk about how they first met him, and of course every single scene is during the Camp Coral thing. And I don't know, when Sandy like outright said, remember when like SpongeBob and I first met at Camp Coral, like it actually made me a little angry, or at least really annoyed. Because it was one thing to like hear that this was gonna basically retcon like those first episodes from the first season, but to hear Sandy like actually say it, it just really rubbed me off the wrong way. Like a lot more than I thought it was going
like
to.
It's giving you a middle finger.
Yeah,
it's giving you a middle finger.
It bothered me like a lot more.
Season, like...
Yeah, it was really weird. It's like the same thing with like we've seen SpongeBob and Patrick as babies together, but yet we're like being told, oh no, this is how they actually met, and also told that Mr. Krabs was like working there as like a vendor type of thing, and that's how he met SpongeBob. When we know from the first episode that that's how they meet.
That's more retconning too, like some other shit from older episodes, like Friend or Foe, like how Plankton and Mr. Krabs, like how they was beefing with businesses when they were younger. Like it just retcons basically everything.
Yeah.
I know, it was very. Not happy.
I mean, I honestly don't know if Camp Coral is going to be bad, but I just conceptually I don't like it.
Yeah.
Really, at all.
That's kind of where I was at too. I'll probably check it out when it comes out, but I kind of doubt I'm gonna like it. But I always go into everything with an open mind and just be like, yeah, you never know.
Yeah, it's like, I know the people working on it are talented, but it's just the fact that they're working on a really bad concept. I know Vincent Waller, he says like he expects everybody to just like, see it when it comes out and it should speak for itself, but I still have my doubts. I honestly don't think I'm gonna like it.
Yeah. It is what
like
it
I
is.
I do like the newer seasons of SpongeBob, but I don't think I'm gonna like the third movie or Camp Coral. I think Camp Coral is mainly just gonna appeal to little kids, and that's it.
Well, it is a show about little kids, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just can't like understand the release schedule for the third movie, because didn't it not release in America? Has it still not released in America?
No, it hasn't. It's
that's
really
a good
weird.
question.
Because it's released in Australia and Canada.
It hasn't.
Yeah, you gotta pop open a VPN and then say you're like in another country and then just watch it. That's basically what everybody else does.
I decided to become British
enough to watch it.
when I watched it.
Be British for like an hour and a half.
It was nice. I had a nice cup of tea and everything. But yeah, it's really weird because it's like, obviously America is SpongeBob's biggest market, and it's still not out here. I think they want to make it an exclusive on like CBS All Access or something like that. But it's like, well, why not just put it out there now? is the question.
Yeah, it looks like Nickelodeon Rust rehydrated for basically nothing.
Yeah. That was also dumb.
Like I think it's stupid because if you're gonna use the third movie you're gonna use the game to promote the movie, well, people are gonna see the movie anyway. I mean, what difference does the game make?
And it's always the really confusing thing is a game is a way bigger financial investment than a movie. So only really SpongeBob fans are going to buy a SpongeBob video game where it costs as much as it did. So like, how many new people are you getting by doing that?
I guess that's just how those fucking executives think. They just think one track mind, money, that's it. So
yeah.
Let's see. Do you like SpongeBob's design in this game?
No wonder Paul Tibbet insulted him. SpongeBob design is the skin.
Yeah, well, yeah, I like it.
SpongeBob's design in this game, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It's very nostalgic for me, actually.
I do? Oh, that's great.
Rochelle Bighead says also either Squidward or Patrick are getting a spin-off. I believe both of them are.
I don't know. I heard about the Squidward one.
I think one of them was confirmed and one of them wasn't.
Yeah. The
we
Patrick
talked about
one.
the Patrick late night show.
Thanks for all your help, Mindy.
You see, that's a concept I think might be
And that's just
interesting.
they're making the same mistake again with Planet Sheen.
Yeah, you know, it's like making a show based off of like the what's that term? You
The
know,
dumbest character, like the comic relief.
Comic relief, yeah. Making a show based on a comic relief character like almost never turns out well. But I will say though, I think the concept sounds interesting. So if they have like interesting like guests, maybe like include characters from like other shows, I think that might be an interesting idea. But I don't know. I don't see that.
Yeah, like it depends. Like if the people working on it are creative with it, it's possible that it would be good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just Nickelodeon trying to fucking make SpongeBob more and more of a cash cow. That's really the whole purpose behind it.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that they literally are trying what they did with Planet Sheen again, even though Planet Sheen bombed.
Yeah.
I still remember when Planet Sheen first came out. I still remember that day. Oh, it's 10 years ago, like 10 years ago. Yeah.
I just remember seeing ads for it and thinking that the idea was dumb right there and then.
Well, it just doesn't make sense on just a writing point because those comedy relief characters only work when you have something to bounce them off of. The only reason Sheen works, the reason Kramer works in Seinfeld is because you have Jerry and all these other characters who are the basis for the show and kind of the way the show can relate to an audience, because not everyone is like Sheen, so not everyone.
Yeah, you got to use the funny characters sparingly because basically when you overuse them, the jokes are not going to be funny because you can't write a funny joke every second. So when a show is just Sheen without any characters to bounce off them, it's basically just going to be a bunch of corny jokes, a bunch of fucking corny, lazy jokes. I mean, that's really all the show was. I think the only character I liked was Dorcas. I think that was it.
And what became even more confusing with it was that they eventually added basically Carl and Jimmy to the show.
Oh, they did?
Oh yeah, I hated those fucking flashbacks they had. I hated those.
Not even the flashbacks, they add a super smart chimp who replaced Jimmy's role in it by being the smart straight guy. And you add like a slime version of Carl, who was just Carl. And it's just, I don't understand.
Like, why didn't you just continue Jim Neutron at that point then?
Yeah, you continued Fairly Odd Parents.
And ran that into the ground.
Yeah. I still really like the first 5 seasons of Fairly Odd Parents, but I watched season 10 just out of curiosity because I like the newer SpongeBob seasons, but no, the newer Fairly Odd Parents seasons before it got canceled was basically one of the worst things I've seen at Nickelodeon in like years. Like really fucking bad.
I don't think I've ever watched any except for the Power Hours. I don't think I've ever watched any Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh, I love the Power Hour.
Yeah, those are really good. Those are like spin-offs that like not spin-offs, crossovers that like make sense. Like they actually have similarities. Like Jimmy has his inventions that go wrong. Timmy has his wishes that go wrong. It's interesting to see them together. It's not just like a random crossover just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Like that That Fairly Odd Parents and Bunsen as a Beast crossover, that was really fucking stupid.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Patrick. It's one of
Oh, I guess it makes sense though. They
Yeah,
both came from the same guy.
Rolling King Neptune.
Yeah, it was stupid though.
Did either of you watch the Hey Arnold Jungle movie?
Nah, if I'm being honest, I've never been a
Nah,
No.
big Hey Arnold fan. Oh,
I haven't seen Hey Arnold since I was maybe 7.
Okay.
I can
But
tell
the
Chester
only thing
is
I've
really
seen in recent years
disappointed.
is the theme song. The theme song's catchy.
I'm not disappointed. I'm very disappointed.
The theme song's really catchy though.
It's
It's
very
really
good.
fucking
Very
catchy. Yeah.
Speaking of catchy music,
Actually, I think I saw. Oh yeah, this
song
level.
this song slaps.
Chester, I saw your All Grown Up video. I think you made one, right?
The recent one?
Yeah, I think there was a recent one. I think I saw it. Yeah. Not a lot of people talk about All Grown Up. I actually really like All Grown Up.
Yeah, I loved it. It's always a bit difficult to talk about that stuff because obviously people love Rugrats so much, and if you
Yeah.
go in a different direction, people feel like they're being attacked, and so you got to be very specific with how you present stuff. But yeah,
Yeah,
I really enjoyed
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Like the thing is with me, like as a kid I loved both, but now like I try rewatching Rugrats. It's basically impossible. Like I can play Rugrats or Ransom, but I cannot watch the show. It's too childish for me. But for some reason when I watch All Grown Up, it hits different. Like I actually really like it. Like I think I only rewatched like the first season, but I actually really liked it. Like I liked all the characters and everything. I don't know, like the writing was just kind of more mature. It was more watchable for me. Whereas, like, even though Rugrats is classic, it just feels like I have to be little to fucking enjoy it. Like, it just kind of has that feeling to it.
Yeah, it has that thing, and I think that's something I tried to talk about in the video is that if you don't have the nostalgia for Rugrats, then there's really nothing there for you when you're older. But All Grown Up, I feel, has so much to offer, really, because I still think I think the writing's really good, and it's just a real shame because the like all the cast and all the creators really hate its guts. And I was just quite disappointing.
Oh, really? Now I didn't know about that.
Yeah, like even in it really was quite difficult to hear, but like the voice actress of Tommy in a podcast she talked about it, and it's just like talked complete like mad shit about it. It was just like I was really shocked because I've never seen a voice actor like be that direct about not liking something so
That's
much.
crazy.
Because usually they do like the whole like, oh, you know, it just wasn't for everyone type of thing. But like no, she was like, it's not what people wanted type of thing. It's just like, oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I always thought the characters were like a good evolution to their like baby selves. Like, it makes sense they were getting older. Like, they weren't going to be 100% the same.
Yeah, it was just, I think it was the thing of just that they made Tommy have like negative traits. They made him like, he like loses his temper and like that type of thing. As like, but he's not the baby anymore.
Welcome to like teenage life.
Teenager who has doubts and fears and all that type of stuff. And it's like, it felt really natural in the way the character would grow because he's still that character, but he now has all this other stuff he has to deal with. It's not just being brave anymore is good enough.
What I like about like teen characters in cartoons, they're like more relatable like as you get older. Like, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's also even when it's no longer relatable, like when you're a full adult, you can still have that nostalgia for it. Whereas when they're babies, you don't really have nostalgia for when you were a baby because you can't really remember any of it.
Right, exactly. That's the problem. Like, I mean, I'll probably rewatch the Rugrats movie or something, but I mean, the show, I can't watch the show. It's just not possible. I tried watching it, like, I was just cringing the whole time. I was like, man, this is crazy. This is one of my favorite shows growing up. Nah.
There are some episodes that still hold on quite well. Whatever episodes they have, like, the imagination stuff happens, I still can enjoy. But other than that, it's interesting because so many other of these Nickelodeon shows can age so well and be enjoyed by so many different people. Like, I think, SpongeBob, all that type of stuff can be enjoyed by just about anyone if they have an open mind to SpongeBob. Because that's the thing with my friends, like, the idea of SpongeBob is what puts them off. But then I actually show them something, a part of it, and they're like, oh, that's actually really funny. I'm never going to watch it because I just don't like the idea of SpongeBob. But, yeah.
What's wrong with the idea of
like how,
a yellow sponge that like lives under the sea? I don't get
It's
it.
more just like, it's more like the pop culture icon and the laughing stuff, and
I don't know. I have a lot of coworkers actually that like don't like SpongeBob, but I think the only reason is because they all have children that like don't stop like mimicking his voice. So
that's probably a factor as well.
So I'm like, that makes sense. But I always like give them a death stare whenever they say that.
Some people might hate SpongeBob just because maybe they seen like a few episodes of season 6 or something. Now they just hate the whole series.
They watch the Splinter episode and they get
Really fucking bad episodes.
Really bad episodes.
That was the worst era ever for that shit.
I don't know.
I hate
There was
those
some
episodes.
episodes I didn't mind personally. Like I have a really weird
There's like
obsession
maybe
with,
a couple.
I have a really weird obsession with boating buddies. I have no idea why. Like it's about as bad as like all the other
wow.
episodes, but for some reason I laugh like crazy whenever I watch it.
I like out of the second era of SpongeBob, the post movie era, which is like pre Sponge Out of Water. The only season I like out of that era is season 4, because a lot of things in season 4 are very similar to like seasons 1 through 3. Like there's not really a lot different about it. It's just, SpongeBob was changing a little bit, but that was really it.
Yeah.
But season 5 is when this season 5 has some good episodes, but like I don't rewatch season 5. Like it's just the animation got so fucking stiff and lifeless. I just could not watch it. I mean, as a kid I watched it, but now I can't really watch it. Like now it's like it's either the first 4 seasons or post Sponge Out of Water, or I'm not really interested, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit different because I can't really stand these new seasons of SpongeBob. I still like the new comedy stuff. I do like the post first movie stuff isn't like great, but what I do like is I just like how there's one aspect that gets me through like any episode. I just love how dry SpongeBob can be. I love that version of SpongeBob where it's just like the awkward moments of just like no one talking and just them like staring at each other. I just love those little bits of comedy in them, and it's like 10% of every episode. Everyone's just like, I like that. That made me happy. It's that type of I respond to that type of comedy, just really dry, nothing going on, just like a moment of just pause. I really like that stuff.
Yes, yeah, I got you. The main thing I don't like about post movie is like, except for season 4, like I said, it's just mainly how stiff the characters are, and like that's really when the Flanderization was at its peak. Because I know after Sponge Out of Water, they were improving a lot of things, but not everything, obviously. But they've added some new stuff that I really like. Like season 9B is like probably one of my favorite seasons. I like how they made Bubble Bass a recurring character. Like I like how they made some new characters. Like I think his name is Rube. I like that character. I like how I don't know why they made Pritch Perkins orange in post movie. That was always a pet peeve of mine, but I like how they made him blue again. I know that's fucking minor, but like it's just little details they did in post movie I didn't like.
No, I get you.
Like I don't know what it is.
Pritch Perkins is iconic.
Like, there's so much off about post movie. Yeah. Yeah, like I think probably my favorite seasons are like, I'm not a big fan of season 1, but I think season 2, 3, 9B, probably like 10 and 11 and 12, those are like my favorite ones.
Yeah.
I really like season
What are
1
your
for
thoughts
like
on with the later seasons? Because things that I don't enjoy as much about the later seasons is the physical comedy.
Yeah, they do overuse the expressive facial expressions at times. Like, I can see why that can turn some people off. We do overdo that sometimes. Like,
I think
but
like
I don't know. 9B is the most laid back with that.
Yeah, I really did enjoy 9B. That was really good.
yeah, I think like they
9B
were doing like
felt like that could have easily fit in my childhood.
oh my gosh, why did I do that?
Go ahead, writers, bro. Go ahead, writers. What would you gonna say?
Well, no, I'm
think
just
you
in
might
shock
have
because I
beaten
just
boss.
jumped into a gap.
Uh-oh. Oh, I thought you broke for a second. My bad.
No, I did like break mentally just now. I was like, but anyway, like I thought like the new episodes, like I was starting to like them a lot actually, but I felt like some of the more recent ones I've watched, like the fenrization problems back, in my opinion. Like the facial expressions are getting a lot more exaggerated, and like everyone just like I think everyone like overreacts more than they did before. And so it's like I was liking what they were doing at first. Like I like some episodes like Chef Bob is a highlight for me.
Oh,
But
that shit is lit. Yeah.
yeah, that was a really good episode. But like if you watch some like more recent ones, like I feel like the characters are shouting like at every possible line. It reminds me of like YouTube videos actually, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Is Paul Tibbet still the
Nope.
lead man? No, he isn't? Okay.
Nope. It's Vincent Waller. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. After Sponge Out of Water, it switched to Vincent, and like Steven Hillenburg trusted Vincent, so he had Vincent take over. And Vincent was there since like season 2, I think, and he got promoted to showrunner. I think he does a better job than Paul Tibbet. Paul Tibbet hasn't worked on anything since Sponge Out of Water, I think. Pretty sure.
Oh, I got you.
Or the third movie. I think he worked on the third movie, I think. But he didn't work on the show, like, after 10 and onwards. He didn't work on the show. I never see his name anywhere. And, yeah, throughout the Camp Coral thing, they say don't listen to Paul Tibbet when he was calling out the Nickelodeon executives about the Camp Coral thing. But
Yeah, that was
that part kind of confused me. Yeah.
that was really intense.
What did he say?
Well, he was just like he just
Oh, yeah,
basically
he
called the whole
had a
thing
tweet.
disgusting.
He had a tweet. Yeah, he said, this is some lazy executing going on. Everybody knew what he was talking about. He's like, no disrespect to my colleagues. This is some lazy executing we got going on. Like, I'm glad you tweeted that. I'm glad you tweeted that instead of just like, oh, this is going to be a great show and just like not really saying how it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did feel bad for
think,
like all the crew members that got harassed over that, but like that's the only thing.
Yeah,
that-
they don't deserve that. Yeah.
It's not. I
The
mean,
SpongeBob fans are just fucking nuts.
yeah. There's like nothing they could have done. They're just
We
trying
know
to
this already.
make a paycheck, you know.
Yeah, it's that type of stuff. I just can't comprehend just the people's reasoning of just that type of stuff. It's like not seeing that it's clearly the company controlling all this.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'll direct my anger at Joe, who just sits in the back room on their Twitter account. Like, no, I'm not gonna be mad that like the
I don't
company-
know the
I'll be mad
names,
at-
but nobody else. But I know your name, so fuck you. You worked on it.
It's just
Like the show actually looks pretty nice aesthetically. I like
Some
its
of the
design.
like. Yeah, the animators are really talented. There's some people that are working on the new seasons that are working on Camp Coral. Still doesn't give me much hope for it, but it might not
Yeah.
be trash. It'll probably just be like
It'll be
at
okay.
worst, it might just be mediocre, or maybe it's like okay, it's just not for us. Like for us, it's like a middle finger, but for the little kids, it might be like entertain them, which is fine. You know, you could just not watch it, I guess.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I think my biggest problem with that type of stuff, and I think it was my problem with, I won't get into it because I'm not sure I want to turn into a big chat if you guys don't want to, but with Rehydrated, it's like my biggest problem and stuff is just when it's so like inoffensive, like it's just like meh.
yeah, I don't like that either.
And it's like I prefer if it was bad, then I could talk about it, go into detail and that stuff, or if it was great and I could go into detail, talk about all the great stuff in it. But when it's meh, like you just can't do meh on YouTube because people either need it to be terrible or great because you can't. They'll take it one way or the other.
Oh,
you can't
yes.
just talk about something as meh.
Oh, I'm so used to that hot take. I can't.
That's why I didn't do a review because I was just like, my opinion on this game is like it's 5 out of 10. I think it's meh. But people say, oh, 5 out of 10. He hates it.
No, I legit.
The mentality they have is like, yeah, it's either a 0 or a 10. That's kind of how people think. Like a 7 or an 8 is not a bad score. A 6 is not even a bad score. A 5, like the way I look at it is, it's not bad unless it's under a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 5 is average.
Yeah. This is why like I don't ever score games with my reviews because I know that just stirs up a lot of shit. But like when I released like my Rehydrate review, I didn't give it a score, but I did like list out some criticisms here and there, and I legit got comments telling me, how could you say that about this game? You betrayed us, Purple Lamp and THQ Nordic have been so nice to you, and you have this to say about the game? How dare you? I'm like, come on, guys.
The thing is, you're not insulting Purple Lamp. You're like saying, hey, this doesn't work in this game, or I don't like this in this game. Like you're not saying, all right, Purple Lamp, you know what? I fucking hate all of you. Like that's not what you're saying.
No, that's not what I was saying.
Like if it was like that, then yeah.
If anything, I felt more encouraged to like air out my criticisms because they would directly respond to them. Like they actually like had examples of like hearing what people were saying in like the community and trying to address that. And so I think if anything, they welcome it and actually try to do something about it. And so I don't know. I know people are young. Some people are really young and like they can't like distinguish like between like hate and like general criticism. But when I was reading some of that stuff during release week, I was just like, oh, this is fun.
I think I can't remember if it was like SpongeBob or not. I'm pretty sure somebody some years ago, like back in school, when they knew about my YouTube channel, they saw like the Hero Pants review or something. It's like, hey, I thought you liked SpongeBob. Like, bro. It's not SpongeBob, it's the game.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like nothing's ever that black and white, people. It's basically the whole morale of this.
Yeah, but you haven't explained why you hate Rehydrated.
Exactly.
Like how could you do that, man? Like,
yeah.
your Purple Lamp gave you a review copy so you can review it. So therefore, your review has to be all positive.
Yeah, it's insane.
Then
In all my
me a
discussions.
review copy. Like what?
Oh really?
I can't believe this, man.
How dare they?
I know, I can't believe it. I had a whole segment when I was writing a review, like talking about, it's like, so have you? I guess they just mustn't have Purple Lamp they must have just forgotten to send it, or am I just gotten lost in the mail? So I ended up buying it myself, but I'll return it once my copy arrives. But yeah, so I'm just gonna talk about this game.
I'm surprised nobody's gonna comment. Hey, you're just mad because you didn't get a review copy. Man, like a review copy, it shouldn't make a difference. Like your opinion should be the same regardless.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Actually,
the fact that you like aren't afraid to criticize a game you got for free, that's something to respect. Cause like there are people out here that will like fucking pretend they like a game because they want more free stuff.
yeah,
on that dumb shit.
yeah. And no, it's like, I try to judge everything I get, like honestly and like constructively. I'm always quick to say like, hey, but this is my opinion. I want to hear what your thoughts are in my comment section because I want to create that discussion. I want to create that environment where people feel comfortable like talking about their opinions and not thinking that they're gonna get bashed for it if they say something that the majority don't agree with. That's always been like my way of doing things. But I do remember like when I got
a lot of my opinions don't fucking line up with other people's. So yeah, hell yeah.
I remember when like I got my first ever review copy, I actually was like scared of like criticizing it because I thought that's how this whole world worked. Like to get games, you have to like say really nice things about it. But actually, most companies are okay with you criticizing it. That's like the
it's
norm.
just shitty publishers like they would just be like, yeah, don't send them one ever again. But like you kind of just got to go into it like you want to be a credible reviewer, so like you just when you get one, you're honest regardless, and if that company respects your honesty and uses it as like a way to improve the game, then that's good. If they don't respect it, well, fuck them then. You know, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
I don't sell out to none of them fucking like, yeah, writers, we're gonna send you a copy of every game we make. You better say all positive things. We're gonna give you this money.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, well, you know, I gotta pay my bills. Shit, I might quit my job and just do this. Yeah, fuck that shit.
Wouldn't be such a bad reality, actually.
Although, can you actually tell me though, how bad was playing through the whole game without the day one patch? Because I played through an hour of it without the day one patch, and you know, I was the entire episode, like let's play episode, I was like, I'm sure this will get fixed with the day one patch. I'll ignore the fact there isn't a shadow for that. I'll ignore the fact that platform didn't pop up. I'll ignore that.
Okay.
How was the entire game like that?
Okay, so you see, like, I can be a little bit airheaded when it comes to like noticing like those details while I'm playing a game, like. So I really take away like the. I really do take away like the big picture stuff when I'm playing something, like that's just how I am. So like none of those things really bothered me when I first played it. What really like irked me at first, because I'll be honest, like my first day of playing it, I wasn't too satisfied with it, was just how different it felt. But I think it was because I felt so used to the original, and that the remake just felt off to me, like in almost every way. But then I kept playing it for like the days afterwards, and actually got pretty used to it, and eventually got to a point where I noticed like not too many differences between and the original. So I think it was just me having to adapt to the new feel of the game. I still prefer the original, definitely. I think the movement in it just feels more smoother and more fluid. But I think the remake is perfectly fine. If, like, say, you got like a brand new Spongebob fan who never got to play BFBB and the original costs like $100, then like Rehydrate, you can't really go wrong with that. And that's my ultimate opinion.
Or like a lot of people might just be like, ew, PS2. You know how that goes.
For me, the biggest positive of the game is just being able to play with a Bluetooth controller. Like, that's the best takeaway I can have from the game. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I used an Xbox One controller on PC, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. But I actually played it for a stream a little while ago on keyboard, and I had just an awful time with it. Playing, I've never played a 3D platformer
with a keyboard?
Because I didn't have a controller to plug in. And I just like, because I had decided to stream it. I decided like 5 minutes before. It's like, okay, I'll play the new Spongebob game just because it's got the new patch just came out. I'll play that, give it a go. And I was like, I don't know how this is going to go with keyboard. I could grab it. Oh, I've got to start. I'm going to start now.
Yeah, I've done that before. It's like, it's very uncomfortable, but like you can get used to it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I think I played the original game like on the emulator with a keyboard. Yeah, I did that before. Like on a laptop. It was very interesting. It was took some getting used to. It worked for a little bit, but it was bad. It was still bad.
Yeah,
I need some. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna echo the thoughts of like keyboard and platformers is always a no-no. Always a no-no.
Yeah, that's the thing that stopped me from getting Hat in Time on Steam. Like, I'll just buy it on console type of thing.
Oh, you can't play with a controller on Steam?
Oh, I'm sure you could, but it's just like,
oh, you don't have it.
Plug the controller in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, it's easy just for me to do it on the console. But something I just wanted to talk about is because you mentioned it there, which I think is somewhere where I think we might be a bit different. Is you're talking about how with your review stuff you're a bit more large picture with it. I think I'm different. It'd be interesting to see what Fred thinks and what he thinks about himself. When it comes to reviews, for me, I find the details make up the big picture for me, which can often, it's even harder on YouTube because then people will be like, oh, you're nitpicking type of thing. But for me, it's the small things that make up the big picture for me.
Yeah.
Nitpicking is like, to me, nitpicking is going to the extreme. Like, I don't know, maybe you spent like 5 minutes complaining about SpongeBob's eyelashes. Like, I think that would be nitpicking.
Yeah.
I think I know someone that did that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, cause like
Just
okay,
made that up.
no, cause yeah, there's some scenes in Rehydrated and cutscenes where like SpongeBob doesn't have eyelashes and others that he does, and he was pointing this out to me. I was like, oh, I never noticed that. Yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, that's something you point out for like a second, you know, spent like 5 minutes talking about it. Like, that's what nitpick it is to me. Like, okay, nobody cares that much. Nobody on the face of the earth cares that much. And it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, yeah, I'm just like, so when I play video games, like, I try to find like the good in it and just try to like help myself have a good time, basically. So I guess that's why like my mind just doesn't like naturally like pick up on like those really small things. Like the only way that I can actually like pick those things out is to like sit down after playing a game, watch through the footage, and like point these things out. That's why like when I was analyzing Rehydrated like clips and such, I felt like I was really good at it because I was able to just sit there and focus on that specifically. But when I play a game, like my mind just does not focus on that. It's just not how I play games.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, when I play Rehydrated on the Switch, I think I spent like the entire time just angry at it or how fucking bad that port was.
Is it bad? I've
Yeah,
never
and yeah, the Switch
looked
port
at
is
it.
terrible.
Yeah.
And this
Oh,
is
wow.
coming from someone that like,
Yeah, bro.
I had a really good time actually with like the PS4 version, but the Switch version, when I played that, it just paled so much in comparison. Like I was pretty disappointed in it.
Like, literally, it runs worse than all 3 versions of the original. Literally. It's crazy. Like, Purple Lamp, I remember they said, oh, it'll be 60 FPS on all platforms. And I think they patched the Switch to only be 30 frames. And then, like, when I play it, it feels different. But then, like, the textures pop in more on that system than any other system. Like, there was a whole bunch of glitches I kept seeing. Like, it was just crazy. And then I was, like, waiting 20 seconds for the next level to load, or like, oh, I died, so let's wait like 15 more seconds. Oh, I died right nearby, but the entire level needs to render again. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Even though I died right by the checkpoint. It's like the original didn't have any of these problems. It's like, it doesn't make sense to me. That's something I really just don't excuse because it just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know if it's the engine or what, but that shit is ridiculous. On PC, everything's instant, but, you know, that's PC. But on the console versions, there's a delay. But on Switch, the delay is, like, really bad. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I think those were my kind of problems that I took away from the game as well, were the stuff that just felt like it shouldn't be a problem after playing like the PS2 version. It was the 2 like biggest problems I think I had were Sandy swinging, which I felt like shouldn't have been a problem because you've seen it done exemplary well in the original. And the and I was talking to Rise about earlier, the fog. Why can I not see the end of this sliding mission? I'm on the PlayStation 4. The PS2 I could see all of it. And I was like, wait, why?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, the draw distance, like, I don't know what the fuck they were doing with that fog. They were trying to, like, cover up the draw distance, I feel like, but it's not a hardware problem. The hardware can handle that. I think.
Oh yeah, it can.
I'm guessing it was just them not having enough time with it. I think that's really what that boils down to. But it's really bad though. Like, Heavy Iron were, I mean, they weren't as crunched as they were with the movie game, but they were crunched when they made Battle for Bikini Bottom with just a year, and they don't really have. There's not a lot of really fundamental problems with Battle for Bikini Bottom. Like, all the glitches are really just fucking speed running things or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
For the most part.
It's
Would you
like
another challenge?
It is pretty amazing though, just the fact that we are getting patches for the game though. Like, I think it's amazing.
I appreciate that. Yeah, Hero Pants Robotic Revenge, they received 0 patches, like, ever.
it just
Because I
came out.
remember I had those games at launch. Yeah.
And the new kart races as well. That didn't get any patches.
Yeah, they just said, well, here's your game, so, you know, fuck you. You know.
Yeah. So it's like you can tell that they
I hate
care,
that.
you know.
Yeah.
Like that's why like it's like even if I have like criticism, I'm always I'm always speaking pretty highly of Teishi Norg and Purple Lamb because you can tell that they at least want to do a good job, which unfortunately is a big improvement over what we had before. And so I'm like, hopefully with time, with more experience and more games, you know, they can just progressively get better. Hopefully we have something that's really good in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty impressed with Purple Lamp for this being the first game of this type that they've made.
Yeah.
And obviously they were crunched as well to fit in with the movie. But still, like, I remember fighting so hard against it when we first created the Discord, and just in comments itself, like, anytime I talk about it, there'd be so many people like, so is the game coming out next month? And it was like, this was like a few weeks after they gave us the trailer, like that first little teaser trailer. I was like, so the game's coming out next month, right? It's coming out this. I'm like, why do people want to rush it so much to get the game now? The longer we wait, the better it will be. The thing, and it's just like all these people are pushing and pushing for it. It's like, oh, it has to come out before the end of 2019.
Like a little brats. That's what they are. They're just little brats. Yeah, you want to rush project just so you can play the game. You don't care if it's good or not. Just play the game. That kind of reminds me, because I'm in the Destroy Human server. I'm not super active in there, but from time to time, like a week after Destroy Humans came out, people were saying, okay, so when's Destroy Humans 2 coming out? When is it coming out? Like, I kept seeing that over and over again. I'm like, I said something. I'm like, bro, you realize like the second game is even bigger than the first game. That will actually take a while to make. Like, you can't, like, you guys gotta wait. And like, but they still keep asking. All right, so you know, a month's been by. So you know, will there be a second remake? Like, I'm like, wow, like. You know, this is why some publishers rush things out. It's because of people like this. Yeah, exactly.
I never played Destroy All Humans. Was that good, the remake?
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Destroy Humans. Like a huge fan of it, even more so now than when I was younger. I played the remake. The remake is basically better than the first, but inferior at the same time. Like in some ways, it's inferior, but it fundamentally. For pretty much most people, the remake is better. Okay. Like, because I'm just being objective about it, basically. Like, I prefer the first one because they took things out of the remake that I really like the alert radio, like shit like that, or some dialogue was taken out, but most of the dialogue is still in the game, but they cut out some of it. And like, that's what worries me if they remake the second game, because how offensive that game is. But anyways, like, the first game is basically like mechanically way better than, the remake is way better than the original mechanically, because the original was like very dated. Like, I like it because I'm used to those dated mechanics, but like I can definitely see that like most people, when they pick up the original, it's dated, and like if they haven't played PS2 games, it's like gonna be hard for them to get into it. But the remake, they improved the game so much, like compared to like Rehydrated, there's like a gazillion, like way more quality of life improvements in the remake. It's just some things didn't translate well, but most of it did, basically. Like, I really appreciate that game. That I definitely, I
think that's the thing with a lot of those types of games, though, is just being aware and still experienced. Aware and still experienced to what the PS2 was, because like I remember all the reviews that came out of the Rehydrated and of Destroy All Humans, and how a lot of them were quite negative. But I feel like a lot of that comes down to just not remembering what the PS2 was like, in a way, and not like what those types of games were like.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, when you mentioned reviews, that kind of reminded me of this one article. Destroy Humans made me feel like an asshole. I read that article. I'm like, oh my god, I hope no average consumer reads this. It's so fucking terrible. Like, that article is so bad.
That's crazy.
Like, it's so terrible. Like, it just makes you feel like a jerk, and like, you know, they got all these racist jokes, all this other shit they were saying. Like, guys, it's in the 1950s. Calm the fuck down, man.
Yeah.
Calm down. It's accurate to the time, and it's fucking great too.
Yeah. That's the thing about.
They censored some stuff with it, though.
The remake for the. My bad. Go ahead, right?
Oh, I was just gonna say, that's the thing about remakes, is like, you know, this is ongoing like debate with like anything in terms of like, should we stick really close to the original, or should we try to make it like more adaptable to what games are like nowadays? And it's like, I kind of wish that like reviewers would kind of just like keep that in
gotta
mind.
do both, basically.
Yeah, I wish they would keep that in mind, because it's like you have like
It's challenging.
you have a big group of people that will get angry like based off of like just changing the graphics, which is like a given with a remake. Let alone like anything else you could think of.
And the graphics are very good. Yeah. Destroy Humans remake, the graphics are very good. I know there's some trolls out there that be like, this looks like a PS3 game. They're only saying it because it's a cartoon. But I mean, there is an art style change. The original was basically trying to be realistic, like aesthetically, and the remake says basically they thought, hey, this would probably age better if we made it more cartoony because of how the humor and the writing is. Which I'm mixed about that. Like, I'm not going to complain about it like to extreme levels, but I do think the original's art style was better. Like, because it had a more of a charming, laid back look to it, rather than this over the top cartoony look that they have now. But I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not a huge deal to me. Like, the game is still good. The remake's good. Like for example, if writers never play Destroy Humans, like, I would honestly recommend you to play the remake. Like, and maybe play the original later, but the remake first, because it's more up-to-date mechanics. Because I feel like if you pick up the original, like, you're gonna get stuck on a couple of those missions because of how, like, you know how those old games were with their difficulty is kind of like the way they do it is stupid, and then like there's no checkpoints, you start the mission all over again. You know, it has that in it. In the remake, they give you checkpoints. But
Gotcha.
I don't know, like, I think, yeah, it's stuff like that. Because I remember I played the original as a kid. I got stuck on basically every mission. I was playing it when I was like 8. I was too young for the game, and I didn't care. I was just playing that, and kept getting stuck all the time, like every mission. Just like I was when I played Grand Theft Auto when I was little. Like, it was crazy. I play it now, it's basically nothing, but I still have to try it because the game is challenging. But it's like, it's just, I prefer the free roam in the original. Like, I don't know, I just really like hearing like all the alert levels go up and like the cops are talking on the radio and stuff like that. I like that stuff. They took it out. I don't know why, but most of the dialogue is still in the game, so I'm not really mad about it. I'd be mad if they like super nerfed the game. I would be annoyed if they super censored everything, because the thing is about Destroy Humans 1 and 2, both of those games are like over the top with their humor, and that's what I really like about it. Like, they just don't care. Like, they just say a lot of shit. Like, I'm glad the remake did not censor most of it. The only thing they censored was like as far as actual censorship, they cut like one like rape joke in one of the cutscenes. That was it, and people were upset about that. But I thought, well, that joke wasn't really executed well anyway. So I'm glad most of the jokes are still in it. So I'm not really mad about it. But I just,
a hard thing for a remake to do. It's like, I remember it was so much. It was big news. And I didn't talk about it because that was when I was getting over doing news videos. But when we were getting close to release of Rehydrated, and like people were talking about, because I think Shift, he went there and he did a stream where he was talking about the stuff he talked to them about, and it was like people really angry about the fact that SpongeBob like jumped a little bit higher or a little bit differently to the way he used to. And it's just like, what do you want from this video game? Do you just want the same thing? In which case, just play the game.
Was that like the jump stalling thing that they were talking about?
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of like this weird thing. I kind of like it in like the original games where like SpongeBob, when like you do like the spin attack in midair, he kind of like stays in the air for a little bit, and people really like that. I think it like actually helps with like speed running a little bit. And so I think at least from that standpoint there were some like good reasons behind it, but still it's like it's a remake, you know. It's not gonna be exactly like it was before. So things like that, I'm like, Purple Lamp obviously had bigger things to worry about, if I'm being honest. So that's that.
SpongeBob jumps too high, 0 out of 10.
But yeah, that's what you have to deal with, you know, when you're remaking anything. Is there's always going to be that group of people that wants everything to stay exactly the same.
Yeah, it's a very protective people.
I just look at it based on like what is best for everybody. That's kind of how I look at it. Like in the bigger picture, what is the best way to handle this? How can you balance out keeping some of the charm the original had, but at the same time adding to it to make it better? So, because at the end of the day, you wanted to age better. Like, do you want it to be just something everybody plays and it never touches again and nobody ever cares about it, everybody forgets about it? Like, when you want it to like age well, that's why you got to make improvements. That's exactly why, because these are old games. So like when they were first made, they were made with the limitations back then. And since we don't have those anymore, you can actually expand. Not too much. Like nobody would like Battle from Bikini Bottom if they added like 12 more levels and they all sucked or something. But you know, just keep the same levels and just improve them.
Yeah.
You know, all that. Yeah.
I think my problem I had, which I talked about a little bit in the review I didn't end up doing, was that it was that idea that this game is the chance for, it's the reset almost. It's the new normal type of thing, and it's what people can experience in the future. But I talked about, I said, I believe because of the day one patch and how broken the game was before that, because we've seen it happen with the Wii, and we've seen it happen with old consoles, it will happen to these new consoles, where the servers will stop being a thing. And so being able to download those future patches, like you can't, it's speculation. We don't know. We like PlayStation might decide for the next 50 years, we'll keep the servers running for the those consoles. But if they didn't in the next 10, 15 years decide to stop them, then you can't download those patches. So in which case, the original is a less buggy way of experiencing that game. And so I went into the video of like, how can this game, if you take that into consideration, the inability, like my girlfriend doesn't, she has a PlayStation 4 and all that type of stuff, but she doesn't connect it to the internet. So if I gave her the Spongebob game, she'd be experiencing it without day one patch. So in that situation, I'd give her the original. I was like,
yeah, I do have a bit of an idea that could work potentially, but I don't know for sure. Like, because I remember as a kid, I didn't have any internet. When I first had a PS3, I had no internet. So if I were to get system updates, it'd be from the game disc. Like game disc would say, you have to download this update. Well, not download it, but install it from the disc to play the game. So I was thinking, you know, if they print future copies of Rehydrated, what if it included the patches in them? So that way you don't need the internet to get them. I don't know. That was just a thought that popped in my head.
Well, yeah,
totally
the game file is pretty small.
Yeah, it's always something
so
they could do.
Fit more on it. Yeah.
You know, if they decide to port it, like eventually to different consoles, you could just include everything there as well. Because I imagine that's something that is possible, because the game did sell 1 million copies. So I'm sure if like.
Also, we do know sales numbers.
Yeah, it did sell 1 million copies. They reported it through like a sales report a couple months ago.
Oh yeah, and it's coming to Stadia, man.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Wait, what did you just say?
Stadia.
Oh,
it's coming to Google Stadia.
No, it is on Stadia now. They released like a trailer for it, but it's basically the same trailer as before. It just says Stadia on it now. But no, it sold 1 million copies.
There's like a guy on Twitter that responds to everything negative you say about Stadia, so watch out for him.
But no, it's like, so
hey,
I
would think
can't
that
imagine.
guy works for him.
He got a free copy of something, I'm sure.
I mean, the control looks cool, I guess.
Yeah.
So there's that.
The controller does look pretty cool.
All right. Now, I just hit up Google. I'm like, hey, I need a free Google Stadia subscription.
Oh, wait, wasn't it free for a while there?
I don't know. I just made that up.
But no, they just send him like a link to it. It's like, sure, here's your free copy of Google Stadia. They give him like the free model, something.
Oh, that sounds
I barely
great.
know anything about Stadia.
I just know that my crappy internet would never be able to support it.
Oh yeah, I think this is the first stream of yours I've been able to join, Riders, where my internet isn't dying.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, that's great.
That was not fun.
Yeah. No,
I remember I used to have bad internet for years.
When you say bad internet, what type of, what are we looking at? Awesome.
Oh yeah, like basically when I used to live with my parents and I had to like upload by connecting, like basically transfer my video to my phone and using data to upload because of how slow my Wi-Fi used to be. But like when I got my own place, then I got really fast Wi-Fi, which pretty much fixed that problem a while back. But like back in those days, where I would upload like huge video files on like my mobile data, the Wi-Fi was like basically it was like 12 megabits per second, but I was averaging around like maybe 7 or 8 depending on how many people were using it. It was just really terrible, and I couldn't stream or really do anything except for basic stuff like watching videos in 720p and like shit like that. Like it was just really terrible.
Yeah, that was,
oh my god.
that was my life for a very long time because my download was 5 megabits per second and my upload was 0.3. So it would take me all night to upload a 10-minute video.
Oh, that's even worse.
So
that's even worse.
I did YouTube for like 6 years with that internet.
Oh yeah, I did YouTube for like, wait, how many years is that? I would say, damn, that's almost 10, but not 10. Like maybe a little bit over 6 or 7 years like that.
It's not fun.
2011.
Not fun.
Yeah. It was like, that's why I didn't start streaming until like last year because my internet was fucking trash. I tried to stream back in like 2012 when I was like 15, I remember. Yeah, like basically my computer shut off. It shut off.
It cut you off.
Yeah, like
such a
and I
struggle.
went back on Twitch after I finally booted the laptop back up, and the stream was basically frozen for like 5 minutes or something. I was like on Twitch like one time I tried on Twitch long time ago. Oh, that was so bad.
Oh man.
Like now it's like I watch videos in 4K now if I upload a 4K video it takes maybe an hour. Like back then if I used the Wi-Fi it'd probably take a week or two, and then if I used the mobile data it'd take an hour or two, so I had to use my phone to upload everything.
Yeah.
Well, the future's great now, I guess.
Yep.
Future is now, old man.
Yeah. No, like actually, I had a lot of internet troubles last year because like my internet provider in my apartment was just terrible. Like it just, like I paid a little extra actually for like better internet and it never worked. So it was really annoying for a long time.
I'm glad like what I pay for works well because it's pretty much a monopoly where I'm at. There's only 2 companies, AT&T and Spectrum. AT&T rips you off. They give you shitty internet for like expensive prices, and then Spectrum was like the best deal. I got them like 400 down, 20 up for like 70 a month. Well, they raised it, but it's like 70 a month when I first got it. Like, okay, I can deal with that. Ain't nothing. But AT&T, I think, was like 50 megabits for like $80 or something. I don't remember. It was really bad deal. It was a really bad deal. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, really? And like, because nobody else supports my area, like, I don't have a choice. But these 2 companies, like, that shit is just brutal.
Wasn't there, when the PS Vita first came out, you could only use AT&T internet on it?
Really?
I don't. No, I don't. I think there was like an AT&T 3G model that was just AT&T.
Yeah, the 3G model. Yeah, right. That was it.
Yeah, I had a Vita when it first came out. I had the Wi-Fi only model. Yeah, I still have my Vita actually.
So do I. I bought mine recently to play Persona 4 Golden, and then that came out on Steam about a few months later. So, yeah.
It's so nice that.
Yeah, I remember I used to play like. I used to play like Jack and Ratchet at like high school on the Vita. I remember.
Yeah.
Even though those versions suck. Those versions suck. The Vita versions of those kind of suck. Especially Jack. The frame rate's like super ass. It's like 15 FPS half the damn time.
Oh man.
Never patched. Mainly, I think Jack 1 was like the worst one frame rate wise. Thing is, Jack 2 is very, very hard with a shitty frame rate. Like, that's basically hell. I think, yeah, I did beat it, but it was difficult. I'm just kind of questioning, like, how did I even do that? I don't even remember doing it, but I did. Years ago.
I've always heard people talk about the Jack and Daxter games, but I've never tried them.
You know,
Yeah, if you try them, don't try them on PS4. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Really?
Either try the PS2 games or the PS3 remaster.
Yeah, I also want to try the Sly Cooper games as well.
well, I just brought the
Yeah,
PS4
Sly Cooper.
remaster,
I
so
haven't played them. I mean, I played Sly Cooper, but not for a while. Long time. I need to replay them.
so there was like one really weirdly specific way I played Jack and Dexter as a kid. It was at my dentist's office. He had like this really
Oh.
he had this really old TV. It was really tiny and it was only like a grayscale picture, but it was connected to a PS2, and it had Jack and Dexter was the only game that was on it. So every time I went to the dentist, I would
Wow.
like play the same first level over and over again. I never got to play the actual game because I never got a PS2, but I just got it on the PS4, so I've been going through it, and it doesn't. I mean, performance-wise, it doesn't really seem like it's that bad.
Yeah, I just I never played PS4 one. I'm just like going off of like an analysis video I watched.
Okay.
Honestly, don't know for sure because I didn't buy them on PS4. Like,
would
it's
say-
just I figured out like about the glitches and stuff that's on the
Oh,
PS4
glitches.
version.
I just got started, so it's like I haven't really noticed anything yet. But from a standpoint of someone who's never
Yeah.
played through the full game, like I'm having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say the best performing is the PS3 remaster. Like there is some glitches, but like some missing particle effects and like there's a glitch at the end of Jack 2. Other than that, it performs very well on PS3. Better than PS4 because the PS4 is just emulating the PS2. So
Yeah.
like it comes with some hiccups that weren't in the original game. I don't
Gotcha.
really remember what was wrong with the PS4 versions. I just remember watching a video on it. Like, hell no, I'm not buying the PS4 version after watching this. Like I was watching like what the other person was going through. I don't remember. It was some years ago.
Okay.
But I know Sony, they're very lazy with Jack and Daxter.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Don't take my word. Don't take my word for the PS4 version. I'm just going off of what I said. Probably shouldn't have even said that, but yeah. With Sony, I don't like the way they treat Jack and Daxter. I really
They
don't.
seem quite lazy with a lot of their older titles. Like they're starting to do a bit more like Ratchet and Clank and that type of stuff. But a lot of their titles, like I don't know. Man.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
They-
just-
they've always treated Ratchet and Clank better. They always treated Ratchet and Clank better than the other ones, but they still don't treat Ratchet and Clank well enough because they still don't market Ratchet and Clank. They haven't been doing it for years. They don't like marketing those games, and like they didn't market the Jack collection from back in 2012. I remember. Yeah, I remember when I was playing that. I had a couple of friends. It's like, well, how do you get Jack and Daxter on there? And like, I was telling them, like, you know, like they had a PS3. And like, you know, it's on the PS3, and they said they had no idea there was a Jack collection on PS3. Like, yeah, that's the problem. They don't really market it. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not God of War, The Last of Us, or anything like that, they kind of just don't care. Like,
It kinda
they did
goes
the same
against
thing
their
with
image.
Sly 4. Same thing with Sly 4. They did not market it. They just let it die. Like, who cares? Like, that's insane, man. I'm surprised Ratchet and Clank on the PS4 sold as well as it did without them really marketing it much.
They seem to be putting the new one to PlayStation 5 pretty front and center with a lot of things, though.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Probably because the PS4 went so well. That's probably why.
Yeah, and also I suppose it actually looks like it's technically quite.
Yeah.
It looks really
It is,
nice.
Technically it's impressive, definitely.
Yeah, that's why I really
do
want
have
to.
issues with modern Ratchet and Clank, but it does technically look impressive, yeah.
Yeah. I've been wanting to get into the franchise forever, but seeing the PS5 game kind of just like was like, okay, I definitely need to get a game. Because it just
Yeah, the problem is if you play the PS5 game, you know, it's a continuation from the last PS3 game.
Yeah.
So, you know, there might be some story nods you might not pick up on. Like, I know a lot about Ratchet and Clank because, like, I remember, like when I was a kid, yeah, my younger brother and some older family members, they was all playing, like, the PS2 Ratchet and Clank games, and then I got into it, and then it was one of my favorite games for like a while, like the old ones. And then, you know, when I was able to get it on PS3, when I got a PS3, I was into that too. the PS3 ones and the PS2 ones, just good ones. But you know, as I gotten older, I've noticed more flaws with like the series. So like now, it's like okay, like the PS2 games, well, the first 4 by Insomniac, they're good games. There's problems with them, but the PS3 games, the series started to go downhill a little bit. Like I'm noticing it more and more, like as I replay them. Even though I still like them, it's like they kind of ruin the franchise in some ways, but improve it in others. It's kind of like with the PS4 game, that's really the best example of them ruining shit because of how bad the writing is in that game. It's extremely bad, and like Ratchet and Clank are like, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm gonna just say they basically don't talk to each other. They're just best friends immediately. Like, whereas in the original, they actually had to get used to each other. They had differences in personality, and like
gotcha.
PS4 one, they basically have the same personality. Like Ratchet, like I don't know. Everybody hates how much of an asshole he was in the first game, but I love it so fucking much. Like I love it more now because like it makes sense. He's immature at the beginning.
Yeah,
like, he's just roasting Clank from time to time because they have different perspectives on everything. But by the end of it, I'm not going to spoil it. Like by the end of it, obviously, you know, in the future of the series, they become friends. They get used to each other. Like that's all I'm gonna say about that. But that PS4 game, they're just best friends immediately, and they never talk for the rest of the game. And then like the humor's dumbed down and everything. Like it's just, I hate it.
So if the PS4 one, I suppose the PS4 one is a bit of a reboot then.
it is.
Like Omniac says it's a reimagining.
Oh, okay.
You know, that's what they called it. Yeah.
Was the one? Is it called Nexus? Was that it?
Incident Nexus. That was the last.
So that was the
last
one?
game in the main. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what the PS5 one's going after. I was so afraid they were going to make a sequel to the PS4 game, because if they did, they would ruin the entire story, because the PS4 game ruins a lot of character arcs in the PS2 games. It kind of just shits on them, ruins all the characters.
Gotcha.
But like I'll be objective about it. Like I'll put some of my like gripes to the side. If you play the PS4 game, writers, you're probably going to enjoy the gameplay. Like I'll tell you that right now.
All right.
Like the gameplay itself is not bad, even though it is dumbed down in a way, but it's also an improvement. Like improvement, even though there's a lot of parts of it that are lazy, and you can only really see that if you played the originals. How much they reuse all the same weapons, but not from the actual first game, from the PS3 games. Like it's a lot of gripes I have with that game, but you will probably like it. Like,
Okay.
I'll be honest, you probably will.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
it's
like
technically not a bad game.
I
Technically
looked
not
at
bad
a bunch
game,
of
just
reviews
disappointing.
of it before I like decided to buy it. Like I was gonna buy a Ratchet and Clank game regardless, but it was the easiest one for me, in my opinion, to get into, because I don't know anything about the story. So that was kind of like my main reason for getting that one. I don't have a PS2 or a PS3 currently, so my options are a little bit limited. And it looked like it was solid.
Damn, man, I gotta send you one.
I've been thinking about going to a GameStop or something, just trying to see if it's there, because there's so many games I missed out on, unfortunately. So it'd be nice to get into them.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to playing it.
I know you'll probably. Yeah, you'll definitely like going commando up your arsenal, and probably Deadlock. Everybody loves the second and third game, so you'll probably love that one too.
Gotcha.
The PS3 games, well, I would say Tools of Destruction and A Crack in Time, you'll probably like those. I don't know about Quest for Booty. That game's very short, incredibly short. I don't like that game, but a lot of people actually don't like that game. You might still enjoy it though. The bad ones, Full Frontal Assault, for the love of God, do not let that be your first one.
Full Frontal Assault?
The-
What's wrong with that one?
yeah. Oh, there's a lot wrong with that one. It's just old, outdated meme. That's all the game is. It's just outdated memes and
Gotcha.
bad performance.
Alright.
That's it. Like, whew. Oh man, I haven't played that game since 2012. Well, maybe not 2012, but around that time. There's memes in that game. Just memes. Old memes from
that sounds like what
earlier than 2012.
that sounds like a lot of what the new SpongeBob movie tried to be, or like how like a bunch of the Sonic stuff tries to be nowadays. So not totally on my wheelhouse, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a very low budget, bad performance, like laggy shooting. That's really all it is. There's not really a lot of substance to that game.
Good to know.
Yeah, I'll just warn you, like if that's your first game and then you're like, man, Ratchet and Clank fucking sucks.
Nah, I'm not that blind. I know that Ratchet and Clank is a solid franchise just from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
So I won't be too judgmental. I know that it's considered a good franchise. There are some games though that like lots of people say great things about them, but I just can never get into. That one game that's
the Last of Us for me.
You say The Last of Us?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that one's kind of controversial from what I've seen. At least the second
I was
one
just going
is.
to talk about, like, bring up the Game of the Year stuff. We're going to see what you guys thought about the Game of the Year stuff.
I mean, I don't really have an opinion.
I didn't watch the Game Awards.
That was fast. Here's your reward.
I didn't really have an opinion because
But
I never
I,
played it. I had no idea what goes on in
neither
that
do I.
game.
I technically like can't say anything about the second Last of Us game, but I played the first one because it came with the PS4 when I had a PS4, and I was bored out of my fucking mind. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was so bored. I played it for maybe 4 or 5 hours. I'm like, I gotta put this down, bro. Like, this shit's boring the fuck out of me. Like I'm not the type of guy to sit down and be like, oh wow, man, those graphics, man. Oh my god, look how realistic he just grabbed that glass. Oh my god, like I don't fucking care about that. But the crazy thing is, to care about that game, you have to care about the characters and the story. And I did not give a fuck about the characters or the story.
I got you.
I didn't like it. Yeah, like if you play Uncharted though, Uncharted is similar in that regard, but I mean, I like Uncharted. I'm a big fan of Uncharted because I actually care about the characters and the setting and the gameplay. But Last of Us, no, it's not me, not for me. And one of my friends told me, definitely don't buy the second one because you're gonna hate that even more. I promise you, it's even longer, like it's more drawn out. Like, oh, say no more, I'm not buying it. I'm just gonna watch everybody talk about how much they hate it.
I'm the same with Animal Crossing.
What?
It looks like everyone always says how much they love like those games. I think I bought New Leaf and I bought New Horizons. I played New Horizons for like 3 or 4 hours and I returned it just because like I can see why people love it, but I just cannot. I need a story. If I need something more going on, it's that thing like it's the same reason why like I was never able to get into games like No Man's Sky and all that type of stuff, where it's like the whole, you make your own story, you experience stuff and you complete this, and it's about the achievement of doing stuff. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't have a whole lot of time for video games, so when I play an hour of a video game, I want an hour of story, an hour of great gameplay, and an hour of like fun. With Animal Crossing, I can definitely see there is that, but it's just like I feel like I'm putting in so much to not get a whole lot out.
So
yeah,
it's
exactly.
definitely the game for people that don't have a lot to do.
Yeah, I hate games that are like 40 hours long. I'm like, come on, man. Like, you think at any point, like, this is just gonna not bore the fuck out of me? Like, come on. Like, if I boot up the game, I gotta look at characters and watch what they do, and then like, oh, I'm playing as a guy now. Like, it's like real life. I get out of my bed, I gotta walk to the bathroom. Like, I don't like games like that. Like, I could do this for free. Like, I don't want to be bothered with this. Like, when I was 13, I thought shit like that could be amazing. Now, no, it's boring. It's dull. Like, it's not even creative. Like, it's just look at our graphics to distract you how dull this experience is.
I'm not gonna lie though, I occasionally have these like phases where I do absolutely nothing but play The Sims. Like these like phases just last for like a week, where I just like get up, brush my teeth, boot up The Sims, and then just do that all day for like a week straight, and then I get tired of it.
I played The Sims when I was younger.
Yeah.
I played it when I was younger. I don't know if I'll like it now, but I just have flashbacks of like the PS2, The Sims 2,
Yeah.
and like the gibberish music. I really like that catchy gibberish music.
Like thinking back on it, I don't know why like those games were so appealing to me. Like I just had so much fun like creating like a life that I guess I could have lived like kind of like in real life. But yeah, they were really obsessive. So I actually have not let myself play it in like years because that's how bad it got for me. Like it basically took out like a week of my life.
Oh, like, damn, man, like The Sims, man, that's the game that like that's like every basic bitch's favorite game, man. Like,
I know. I don't know what the appeal is, honestly. So like I've not allowed myself to even touch that game for like years. That's how bad it is. It's like, you know, if I played it tonight, then like on Monday, you know, my boss would be saying, "Where's Brian? Where's the drug guy?" I'm like, "I'm here with the Sims."
Leave me alone. I'm playing The Sims.
I'm playing The Sims on the DS.
I'm playing.
Leave me alone.
Like this man, like they're gonna be like, damn, I lost my train of thought.
You know, I'm playing as a pharmacist in The Sims right now. That's
Like, yeah, I know I'm not doing my job, but I'm doing my job in The Sims right now. Come on.
yeah.
Damn, man, The Sims. Oh, man.
Chester, I got
I
a
don't
question.
even know how I feel about that today.
Hey, Chester, have you ever played Jimmy Neutron Jet
Come on.
Fusion?
I own it. I was going to stream it pretty soon, but then I played the movie game and I hated my life for those 4 hours that I played it. So I have not played it yet. No,
Oh,
bye.
okay. No, art style is just asking if it's a good game, I guess.
It's a good game.
No, oh, they enjoyed it. They really like
it's-
Jet Fusion.
Oh, it's someone in the chat. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it still in?
I was always like, when I was younger, I loved Attack of the Twinkies. I loved that game when I was younger.
I started
Attack of
playing
the
like
Twinkie.
the movie game too, the Jimmy Neutron movie game, and I stopped playing after like playing some of the second level.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought that was trash as a kid, and I think it's even more trash now. I'll be honest with you, I hate that fucking game.
You know, it's
I
like,
remember I got
lives in a video.
and this comes from someone that like I actually really like Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, so it's not like I hate Big Sky and think they're just terrible, but like legit, like that Jimmy Neutron game, I don't know what they were thinking with some of the things. So,
Yeah, you know the collectibles are 2D sprites with fucking shiny effects around them.
like as soon as I saw
It's a
this,
PS2 game,
when I
man.
saw that the start screen was just a logo on a black background, like, okay, I think I know what to expect here. But like,
Bro,
okay,
I remember that. Like, it was like $10 at GameStop, and I got it. Like, I've been like, oh, I love Attack of the Twinkies. Let me get the Jimmy Neutron movie game. I never played this, and like, you know, it's like by the time I'm like in the other section of the amusement park, oh, hey, I hate this fucking game. This shit is stupid. Like, like as soon as you boot it up, like it feels like some fucking. It feels like SFM or something. I don't know, like how to describe that game. Like, it's something wrong with it.
there definitely was something very wrong.
Like,
with that
everything's
game.
wrong with it.
I refuse to play any
Yeah,
more of it. I
like-
can't.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
we gotta
like-
have a Jimmy Neutron relief, and then
Actually, I
You're gonna play
can't
it for
play
like
any
12
more of
hours.
it. No, there's like in the second level when you're like in that weird like cave with like all the little monsters inside of it. I don't know how you even get there from Jimmy's lab. There's like this
Oh,
one
you
jump.
mean the ants? You mean the ants?
Those are ants? Okay. Like there's
Yeah,
like a
they're
jump
ants.
in
It's
there
so
that I
annoying.
can't make. Like, cause Jimmy Neutron can't double jump, and there's like a jump that I don't know if I'm just like not jumping the right place or.
Oh no, I know
something.
the bit. It took me so long to get through there, and chat had to help me. It's because it's going into a 2D area, but the platforms are still wide enough for you to move around on them. So you have to come as far close towards the camera as you can, because it's like a few mil like longer than the part where you're normally jumping from, and then you can make it to the other side. You have to get as close to the camera as you can to make the jump.
See, it's BS like that. I can't.
It's terrible.
I think as a kid, like I tried to beat it when I was like 12 or something. I tried my best, but like it was so terrible. Like I don't remember how far I got. Like I eventually got, but I just remember I kept getting stuck because like I didn't know where to. I think I didn't know where to go, and like everything in the game was just really trash. I was just like, I'm gonna try to beat this game, but I actually never did. I don't think I did. I don't. I just remember baseball bats. I don't know why. I just remember Jimmy having a baseball bat.
Yeah, it's the power up that you can get to like one hit the enemies. But it's just the level design is just so insanely awful, and I just hate it so much because you'd be going through this stuff, and it's the thing of just having a 3D platformer that has lives to it. So if you die, everything gets reset, and then like the loading screens take forever. So you just be redoing these one parts of this level, and you have to replay through all the level to get back up to the part that you were struggling at. And it's just I hated it. I hated it so much, and I was like on the last level, and I just quit. I quit doing it. The streamer, the guys watching understood, like they were okay with it. But I was just like, I can't do this anymore, guys.
Okay.
I don't like video games anymore.
All right, writers, I'm waiting on that 12-hour stream. My boy Genius, I'm waiting on it.
You know, I'm gonna pretend
after that.
I'm gonna pretend that that's not an idea you just gave me. I'm still recovering from Robotic Revenge 12 hours. That was a terrible idea.
Yeah, every few seconds. Yeah, every few seconds.
Like that stream actually kind of like mentally like made me a little deranged because I couldn't stream for like months after that.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
I was like, you know, I convinced myself that I hated streaming. Like I was telling everyone, like, guys, I don't think I like streaming anymore. Like it just every time I think about it, I'm just like, ew. But then eventually I was like, you know what, I kind of miss it. So I realized everything is good and balanced, you know, and 12-hour live stream of Robotic Revenge is definitely not balanced. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's the crazy thing is that's like a 2 or 3 hour game.
Exactly.
Playing that for 12 hours, like
I had to replay the game.
Oh, but
multiple times.
Hey, look on the bright side. If it was Hero Pants, you would feel worse.
Actually, like
I still remember when I played that game. I haven't touched that game in years. I remember. Yeah. Oh, I remember like when I was playing that game and like, oh my god, why does the ground look like ass cheeks? They literally do.
It was like it was worse than Robotic Revenge in every way imaginable.
Yep. I remember some years ago I had the game up. I think I like screen shared it or something and like had it up on Skype. They're like, well, one friend was showing it. I was showing it to him. This man was roasting their game the whole time. Oh my. Why does the ground look like ass cheeks? Wait, it does. Holy shit. Like if you actually look on the sides of the ground, they actually do look like asses.
Like, I never tried that.
Wow.
But okay.
Well, like I remember like when I made Hero Pants videos, like I would just like, man, the game is so fucking stupid. Like I would just like take the fucking screen SpongeBob had and just fucking reverse them in an editor, and they sounded fucking chaotic. SpongeBob sounded like he was charging up like Goku. Like I had to put that. I forgot which video I fucking put. I think that was in a Robotic Revenge video actually. Like I reversed the screen and put it in, and people kept asking me, "What the fuck is that screen? Where is it from?" It's all like SpongeBob trying to go Super Saiyan. Hearing I'm ready to be a superhero like every few seconds.
I'm ready to be a superhero.
But be careful, it won't last long.
Oh no! I didn't need to remember these things.
God, like if I did a 12-hour stream of that, oh my God, I don't think no, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah.
How the fuck would I even? Oh, that's worse than Robotic Revenge. Like at least Robotic Revenge, like has some merit and enjoyment in it. Like at least like the music, there's some good music in it, even if it's fucking spammed all the damn time. At least that's kind of crazy. Like that battle music is actually good, but they play it every few seconds. I kind of just thought about it, like, you know, game designers, did you ever once think like we can't just play that every few seconds? Did you ever think that? Like, did it cross your mind ever? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's crazy. I couldn't find any information on behavior. Like, they didn't tweet or post about those SpongeBob games at all. They just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, all I remember is like there was like one tweet saying, "Congratulations on Behavior Interactive for releasing the great game SpongeBob Hero Pants." It was something like that. I'm like, are you serious? It was because of that Kids Choice Awards thing. Like, are you serious? Like, can you explain to me how it's a good game? No? Okay.
Reminds me of like this interview that like they did with the SpongeBob cast while they were like recording Robotic Revenge, and Tom Kenny was
oh
like,
yeah,
very good.
I remember that. Yeah,
very good game, something like that. I don't know. And I was like, I'm sure it is.
Man, Tom Kenny, man. I'm gonna like ask him if you ever talk to Tom Kenny. Just be like, Tom, have you ever played that game?
Have you ever
Like,
played
no.
any of your games, Tom? Any of the SpongeBob
No.
games?
No.
I wonder if
Like,
he,
no, I just marketing it.
yeah, he really should try VFBB at least. Oh,
Yeah.
looks like Andy was always curious where that scream came from.
Oh. It'd be nice to talk to one of them one day. I know one of my friends had an interview with Lex Lang, who does Cortex's voice.
Oh, really?
Wow.
That's really cool.
Yeah, the video on his channel. Yeah, he actually had him do Cortex's voice and say his name. This shit was funny.
That's the coolest stuff.
Oh yes, he said his name. That shit was crazy. Hey, Lex Lang's cool. If you ask him, he actually do an interview with you.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of really cool people like that I've seen around. Good to know.
Yeah, it's a shame when Insane Trilogy came out, there was a bunch of people hating on Lex Lang, like because it wasn't Clancy Brown and shit, but they didn't really they didn't know anything about Lex Lang or anything. It was just upset it wasn't Clancy. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah, you're just saying it on the surface, basically. Like,
Yeah.
he actually did a pretty good job.
Oh,
Like, I'm
definitely.
gonna be honest, like, he sounds a lot like Clancy's Cortex.
He's Cortex to me. My first Crash game was Twin Sandy, so that's always been like what Cortex naturally sounded like to me.
I'm gonna be honest with you. As a kid, I always thought he had the same actor. I always did. I never knew he changed voice actors in Twin Sanity. But it's like now that I hear it, like, I do like Clancy's Cortex. It has a charming sound to it, like especially in Nitro Kart. Like, I like how he sounds, but like Lex Lang sounds really good. Like,
Yeah.
like Clancy's Cortex was only really expressive in like Nitro Kart. But like Lex Lang, he was always expressive, like his Cortex. Like, he always had like some energy when he did Cortex's voice. Like, I always liked that. But like earlier, because I'm still working on one of my videos. Like, I was looking at some Raptor Cortex cutscenes earlier as a reference for my video I'm working on. Like, I was actually fucking laughing at some of the things in that fucking game. Like, writing in that game is kind of funny to me, even though I think the game sucks. Even though for some reason in 2013 I was defending it, I don't know why, but I actually hate it now. I've replayed it in a stream. That game sucks, but I don't know, the writing. I don't think the writing's bad. I think it's funny.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna
Cortex.
say, how you thought that like Cortex sound the same, and this is gonna make everyone think that like I'm deaf, but when I was a kid, I thought that like Mr. Krabs in Battle for Bikini Bottom was Clancy Brown. Like, I had to when I read it online.
That is kind of insane.
When I found out when I read online that it wasn't, I was like, really? And then I listened carefully. I was like, oh, no, that's not Mr. Krabs. Oh, okay. So, it just,
Well, he's also
Yeah.
like he's
Yeah.
barely in the game. So-
that's why like
crazy.
I'll
I
be
remember-
completely honest. Like, I don't really get the hate behind his voice. I really don't think it's that bad. But like literally every
Yeah,
review like talks about how terrible the voice is.
it's mainly Mermaid Man's voice that's the worst. Like his
Yeah.
is fucking annoying.
I can get
But
that.
like I'll say yeah. I remember when I was younger, Battle for Bikini Bottom when it first came out, like kept getting it from Blockbuster. My older sister, she heard the Mr. Krabs voice. She's like, "That's not Mr. Krabs." I remember
Yeah.
when she said that. That's not Mr. Krabs.
I don't know. I guess as a kid, I really didn't really mind. I thought, okay, yeah, Mr. Krabs maybe just is sounding a little bit more Irish this time. Cool.
Yeah, maybe he just did a little cocaine before, but like,
But
that's
like,
all.
I legit did not hear the difference. But I think see, this is like I said, like I don't really like pay attention to the really small details, or even like the sizable details. I guess when I'm playing games. All I know is like I had a
don't
good
know
time.
why, but like, Crunch from Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. Of course I know Crunch.
In the Wrath of Cortex, I don't know why. Like in the Wrath of Cortex, even though like he's very bland in that game, I think he's fucking hilarious. Like because of how aggressive he is in that game. Like I rewatched the cutscenes. Like like all he does is talk about beating Crash's ass, but like it's so fucking funny. He's like, oh yeah. Me and the water boy are gonna take you out. Should have me rolling over.
Now did
Like what's some shit that he has said?
did his
that,
voice actor change?
Like, oh yeah,
'Cause-
he was like, I don't need no stupid. Yeah, his did. To,
Yeah, 'cause
like,
I remember,
persuade
like,
some,
listening to
tag
him.
team racing.
Yeah, I remember listening to him in like Crash of Titans. And I'm like, he sounds a lot goofier this time around.
Yeah, he was like, yeah. When he said in the Wrath of Cortex, is one line he said, Dr. Cortex, I don't need no flaming mask to help me. I could take Crash on by myself. Like, it was one thing he said. He's like, I could. What did he say? Like, I fucking was listening to it earlier. Like, he made this weird ass noise. He's like, oh yeah, he's like, I could be Crash tied behind my. That shit had me rolling earlier. I don't know why. That was Kevin Michael Richardson that did his voice in Nitro
Gotcha.
Kart in that game. But like,
Gotcha.
yeah, I think he's the best in Nitro Kart. Yeah, like in Nitro Kart, like you could just look up the audio of him on YouTube. Like he has so much energy in that game. It's crazy.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing some more like Crash games in the next month or so. I played like
Hey,
I grew up with like Twin Sandy. I played through the Crash Insane trilogy, Team Racing Nitro Feud, and Crash 4. So I'm like, I think it's about time to get into some more of like Crash's older stuff.
but yeah, like I'll say this: I think Nitro Kart handled all the characters better than pretty much any game. I'm be honest. Like all the characters are solid. Crash himself is solid, charming. Coco solid. Like Coco was done by Debbie Derryberry in that game, but she doesn't sound like Jimmy Neutron. She actually sounds like a girl, rather than just hearing Jimmy Neutron like a little boy. Like I always hear that in like all the other games, but for some reason in that game, the voice direction is different. It's like it's better. Like all the characters in that game, I think are pretty good as far as like the voices, the personalities are just on point. It's a shame it's only in the racing game they're that on point. Like it was never that on point before. Like it wasn't that on point in the originals or Wrath of Cortex, but it was so on point in Nitro Kart for some reason. Like I just noticed it. Yeah, just replaying a little bit of it. It was mainly because I had to record a little bit of it, but I was like, oh, this is actually really good. Like, these are some good talking points.
Yeah.
Like, personality in Nitro Part's really good. That was the last game where Clancy Brown did Cortex, and like that's the best Clancy Brown has ever did Cortex because like he has like a lot more energy. Oh, the wind in my hair. Like he's just saying a lot more shit. Like I love it.
I'm probably gonna have to hop off.
Yeah, my goal is to finish this ring challenge and then I'm gonna end the stream. But I keep dying, so we'll see.
Yes, what's up?
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't think I'm gonna pass this challenge.
you're gonna pass the challenge.
I think I've done it like 6 times so far.
Oh yeah.
But this is like the toughest one by far. Like the rings just kind of like pop up at you in like split seconds.
Yeah, it's like when I replay this one, like I actually really like this one, but like I still from time to time fail on this one, even though in most of the ring challenges I don't really have a problem. This one is very challenging. Like it's just you gotta watch some of those turns, like that one, like I just saw, like you had to go down. Yeah, that is tricky.
Yeah.
Very tricky.
You basically have to like know it's coming. At least that's how I feel like. Because your reaction time is really short in this one. I mean, I get it. It's the last one, you know. If there's one that's gonna be super challenging, it should be this one. But man, I really want to end the stream on a good note. I really want to pass this one.
Yeah. Hey, imagine this challenge with 3 laps.
Oh gosh, please don't. Okay, no, I don't think this is gonna happen. I have work tomorrow.
You can do it, bro. You can do it, bro.
No, I have work tomorrow, so. Okay, I'll do one more try. One more try. We'll see. I'm a little stubborn.
I'm glad I ain't got work tomorrow.
But next week, folks, it'll be a brand new game. So I'm gonna put up a poll sometime next week on what game you want to do. So just be sure to vote in that when you see it. I think I'm gonna try to do like a racing game next. I'm feeling like a racing mood. So I'll find a few different racing titles and put that as the poll options. I'll definitely include the Crash one.
Racing game I really liked was Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing.
Oh,
that was one of my favorites.
I've been playing that recently for an upcoming video. It's a great game.
Yeah, I loved it. I used to go over a lot of people's house and play that shit. That shit was lit.
Are you talking about the first one or the one that's transformed?
Oh, the first one.
Yeah.
I didn't play the second one anywhere near as much.
I gotcha. I feel like I like the second one overall a little bit better, but the first one feels really chaotic, and I really like that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm going faster, and like I have less control in that one, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But Transform is also really cool because of how dynamic it is and how it changes the tracks like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. They both have their good points.
It's mainly because when the Transform came out, I didn't play it when it came out. It was like the first one at the time was like maybe 13. I was just playing it a lot. Yeah. And the second one came out a few years later, and I was at the point where I was going into like video game drop land, not playing as many new games. So that's probably why.
I gotcha. I had that same experience. I think between like 2015-ish to like 2018-ish, where I just wasn't playing as many games for whatever reason. School was probably a big reason, to be honest. But it's like I actually didn't really get back into playing video games until I started this channel.
Yeah, it got to the point where like I was almost only playing them for like I was either just doing casual Call of Duty multiplayer with friends or just making a video. Yeah. It was really mostly it, not playing as many new games.
It's kind of ironic.
Like now at this point, it's just like I'm yeah, I'm not interested in a lot of games now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it has to look really fun for me to be interested. I don't even care about good graphics as much. I'm desensitized to it. So it's just like I need some gameplay. And that's all I really mainly care about. But don't make the visual shitty at the same time. Don't do that.
Definitely. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm done. I can't do this. Some other time. It's a great game. I don't want you to think that like I hate it. It's just some challenges are like not meant for me, I guess.
SpongeBob will show up at your front door. Are you gonna play it now?
But all right, well.
Hey, Ryder, you gonna play it now?
I can totally picture SpongeBob doing that. That would just be great.
Me and Patrick came. We came to watch you do the Sonic Wave guitar challenge. Yeah, they're just gonna make you die like after a few rings. They're gonna distract you.
Oh, well, I guess
Watch
that did work.
Patrick will beat it in one try.
Just to make you feel worse.
Oh, Daniel says, recommend a game that has to go to rings like this. How about we choose something completely different for the next one? But all right, I thank everyone for joining in. Thank you guys for being a part of this. And yeah, I'll see you all next week. Where's the end button?